certain extreme situations, the law is inadequate. In order to shame its inadequacy, it is necessary to act outside the law, to pursue natural justice. This is not vengeance. Revenge is not a valid motive, it's an emotional response. No, not vengeance. Punishment.
Tonight we have a chance to say, yeah, you're right. We're too extreme, we're too wild, we're too out of control, we're too full of our own shit. Or we have a chance to say, hey, fuck you, you're wrong. Fuck you, we're right. Because you have all made it to the dance. Because believe me, this is the dance. Start the show.
Hey, what's going on? How you doing? Good evening and welcome. It's the Steel Toe Evening Show. It's the last one of the week. Where am I going to put this? I'm nervous. I should have wrote some things down. I should have jotted down a few notes. I love how I can shed a little more detail on what I was so jittery and excited about last night. And the first thing numero uno Josh Denny fan does is go, what's the call-in number? Don't worry about the call-in number right now, Uno. Just don't worry about it. It'll be okay. We do have a weird show for you tonight. I have been in fits of euphoria for about the last 27 hours or so. And yesterday I could tell you very little. This morning I could tell you a little bit more, but very little still. And tonight I can tell you more. Tonight I can give you the framework of what's got me so excited. And, look, I probably shouldn't even address the negative people, but like, if this upsets you, don't let it. Like, it's not your life. You don't need to let it bother you. You don't need to let it affect you. You don't need to let it impact you. All I will say is this: I am fucking ecstatic. I am so happy. It feels like I'm finally able to untie myself from a very toxic thing that happened, where I let myself down and my family down incredibly. And I made some really, really poor decisions. And this is the final phase of moving on. And, I kind of, like, I had a feeling this day would come in one form or another. I just wasn't ready for it. I wasn't ready for it to be here already. So I know I'm a wordy cunt. I know that I talk way too much, and I know, all of that stuff. So I'm going to try and keep it as brief as possible for a couple of reasons. One, not to have people go, just fucking say it already, because I know they're already doing that. And that's not my style. And also so that I don't, I'm not worried about saying too much. I just don't want to get into speculation. I just want to give you what I know and what's official. Last night, yesterday afternoon, probably 3 o'clock, 3:30 Central Time, I got an email from my attorney saying we are on the verge of getting everything we want. And I had to reread the email 4, 5, 6 times. And then we played a little phone tag, and it was the most intense phone tag I've ever played in my life. We got on the phone. We had a conversation. I'll keep that conversation between the two of us. Needless to say, I left it feeling like there had been a weight lifted off my shoulders. I had felt very good. And I apologize to, again, the people on the internet who are going to be upset by this or whatever. And I for those of you who think you play a role in my life and you do not, none of this is happening for you. Everything that's happening. So whether you love me and you think this is good, or you hate me and you think this is bad, what I'm about to tell you, know that I did it 100% for myself and my family, and I'm ecstatic, and I can't wait for the clock to hit zero and the whole thing to be over with. I've been waiting for this day since September, since late August. I'm thrilled. I'm thrilled. So last night, I'm on the phone, going back and forth. Yeah, that sounds good. That sounds great. That sounds amazing. And then today, I got the word that the offer was made official. The offer is a little misdemeanor on my record and a small fine of $50, and I move on with my life. I don't think I could be more thrilled with that kind of an outcome. There are just some things that, these things move slow, and I was willing. We were gearing up for the big fight, especially with Gino and Keanu having not been served yet. Probably means they're not going to be served by the state of New York. I was feeling good about everything, but I was feeling stressed, and I didn't like that stress because everything else is so good. I just wanted this thing gone off my shoulders. I didn't want to be stressed about it anymore, even though it was a strange feeling because I felt good about the direction it was going. And an offer like this had never been made before. And I wasn't expecting this offer to be made. And then yesterday it comes across and it's not official yet. And I get told, hey, this could be another week or two that we hear anything more. And then today it becomes official. We're going to, look, there's crossing T's, there's dotting I's. There also, the fact that we haven't sent all of the stuff for a trial that we want to be able to show, we gathered all this stuff for a trial. We gathered all the stuff we want to do. We want to send that out there. Like, we still want to make our case, and then we'll take a look and we'll visit this whole thing. But it is beyond my wildest dreams. It's a dream deal. It's fantastic. I can't complain about it. Again, we've got a few finer little stupid things that are above my pay grade that are going to be, just needled out. And the way this has been going so far, hell, it could be done by the end of the week. I don't know. But I've been excited about it. I've been pacing around my house. I sat down on the deck today. It's beautiful out. It's in the 60s. I had a cigar. I had an old fashioned, and I just kind of focused on the idea and tried to adjust to the idea that this is coming to an end, and that I get to untie myself from this awful situation and fully break free from those chains and completely move forward, free and liberated in my life. And I wasn't ready for this to happen. I wasn't ready for this day to come. And now it's almost here, and it's all I can think about. And I'm so excited. So thank you to everyone who's supported me through all this. To the people who are disappointed by this, I'm sorry. I didn't do this for you. Look, man, this doesn't change anything. You can still hate my guts if you want to. It's okay. It's not going to affect you at all. I promise. But I really don't even want to focus on that part because this is all just so great. And I'm so happy to put it behind me. And the amount of people in, my friends, my family, my incredible girlfriend, everybody who's reached out and said that this is great. I'm so happy for you. This can be done. I don't have any hate in my heart. I don't have any dislike in my heart. I'm free of all of that. It feels good. I'm just so excited for that light at the end of the tunnel to be getting bigger and bigger. And again, if I'm having trouble finding the words, it's not because I'm being too careful, because I respect this whole process. I respect everyone in it. I've never felt like this was personal for any amount of time. Verdict, thank you. And I just want to be as heartfelt as I possibly can. One thing I told myself is, don't be a cunt, don't gloat, because it's not. If I could tell anybody one thing about this, just don't. It's a great country. It's got its faults. It's got its flaws. I could complain about the process. I could complain about things I agree with or things I don't agree with. It is a great country. It is, the system may have its quirks, but you can get a fair shake. You have a chance to be heard. You have a chance to plead your case. I'm just, again, very excited to move on with my life, move forward from this time. And like I said, yesterday it went from, I think we might have something, to today it's an official offer, to who knows how quick this moves tomorrow. Like I said, our side is still gathering what we want to present. So we don't want to get shortchanged. We don't want to get cheated by any of that. We want to present what we have. I will say this came out of nowhere. I don't know what happened. I'm not privy to those conversations. I am happy that I don't know what happened. I am glad that this is being worked out by attorneys and that I don't have an inside ear. All I know is what I've been offered. And I didn't see it coming. I didn't expect it. It hit me like a ton of bricks. Like I said, I'm fully ready and still am fully ready if it happens to, to do what needs to be done. But if there's no reason for that, then there's no reason for that. I'm still really struggling with realizing that it's coming to an end. I'm really having a hard time realizing that this is it, because this has just become my everyday. Like, until this offer, I don't even think about this on a daily basis. This has just been how it is. I've been living with this thing, and it's very odd, but to not live with this thing while I'm excited about it, while I'm fucking thrilled, and this came completely out of left field. It's kind of weird. Like, this has been my reality since August, and I've just become adjusted to it. I don't think about it. Every few days, it'll kind of pop up in the back of my head. I go, oh yeah, oh shit, I forgot, And with it just about gone, I almost don't know what to do. I don't know what to say. But I can now say an offer has officially been made. And nothing's been agreed to. Nothing's been said yes or no. But I can comfortably say that there is a path to a resolution in this whole thing, and that I am not against it. So and look, I also understand that when this is all over, there's going to be a lot of people that were just watching this show for this trauma and this whole thing. And when that's over, they're going to fall off. And I'm happy about that too. I'm happy to get back to doing a show for a group of people who have loved Steel Toe and love Steel Toe and enjoy it. And a few of those people will hang on and become fans. I think that's wonderful too. But I just want to, if I could convey any message, it's that difficult times in people's lives, even if you do it to yourself or you make bad decisions, it has a way of turning people cynical. I don't want you to be cynical. I don't want you to go through difficult times and go, well, everything's fucked and everything's shitty. Things are mostly good. Things are mostly positive. They are wonderful. There's beauty in all of God's creation, as they say. I've been a happy guy in spite of all this. I've been improving my life and living in a wonderful way in spite of all this. And I'm so excited to find out what I could be capable of, or what life is capable of with this, with these chains broken and this complete separation from a life that that I'm completely ashamed of, and I want to learn the lessons from and bring them to where I am now. I am so excited for that. So that's what I was pumped about last night. That's what I was excited about this morning. There are details. I cannot say too much about that. The only thing I'm wondering, and maybe you're wondering it too, and I haven't asked this question because I don't want to jinx anything. I don't know what the hell happened in the last week. I have no idea what the hell. I know we've been submitting things. I know everybody's been submitting stuff. I don't know what happened in the last week because I had not heard anything like what I'm hearing now in this entire process. So, ecstatic, happy, relieved, you name it. Let's go to some of these. Dr. Silverwolf with $2 says, yo, Aaron, Weird Al is coming to Waite Park. You're about the 5,000th person who's told me this. I bought my tickets to the one for my daughter and I down in Welch, Minnesota in June. And then months later, I find out that Weird Al's coming to Waite Park. Aaron's Dingley thing with $2 says, this new time sucks ass for me to listen live. I'm really sorry. $2 from CJ says, take it to trial like a real man. What I've been offered is the best thing in the world next to a complete dismissal. And that's the other thing. People are like, oh, is it a complete dismissal? That's not how the system works. The system does not work like, we could offer you a deal, or we can offer you a dismissal. We can't, the attorneys can't do that. There's no, the way you go and get a dismissal is you go before the judge, you file a motion while for the trial and everything to dismiss. That is not a sure. People are like, oh, it's so weak. It's so weak. Why? Just, nobody has any control over that. You file that, they say no, you make that your ace in the hole. That's it. Look, what's transpired over the last 24 hours or so has made me very happy. That's all I can say. It's made me incredibly happy, and I couldn't be more thrilled. Like I said, we were ready, we still are ready to go forward with what we need to go forward with. But if there's no reason to, and there's no reason to put everybody through that, then why? Why? Verdict with $4.99 says, I'm not even a fan, but almost feel happy for you, Aaron. Almost. Honest to God, that's the closest I'm going to get with people like that. So Verdict, that means more to me than my fans telling me they're happy for me. So thank you very much, Verdict. I appreciate that peace offering. $2 from CJ, $50 plus how much in attorney's fees? Well, I mean, I don't get to this point if it's not for that guy. Hey, thumbs up to him. Numero uno, Josh Denny fan with $1 says, another win for the toe. Look, like I said, I didn't want to come on here and own anybody because I still don't believe this kind of thing should be celebrated. Look, am I ecstatic? Am I happy? Am I relieved? Am I thrilled? Absolutely. But I don't want people to think this is cool. I don't want people to think this is great or this is you don't want to be in this situation, and you don't want to find yourself in positions like somebody already texted in, stop breaking the law, asshole. Jim Carrey always gave great advice in Liar Liar. And, this is, again, amazing, incredible. I'm very happy, but I still don't want people to think that shit like this is cool, because it's not. Like, being through this process is not cool. Stay away from this process. Numero uno, Josh Denny fan with $1 says, I have hate in my heart for not plugging into phone line. Sorry, buddy. $1 from Numero uno. He says, Jesus Christ, it's been 20 minutes. Just come on air, say the felony is gone. Fuck all the dumb cunts. Hit the applause sound effect and throw 2 fingers in the air and open the phone. 383 Novocaine says, I can hear Melton stomping on the floor. No, I know that people want me to play that game, and I know that's entertaining, but again, I'm so happy today. I don't have that hate, that animosity in my heart. People can deal with this how they want to deal with this. It's my life. It's my situation, and I feel very good today. I'm excited to leave it to the lawyers. That's why, the less specifics I know, the better. The less specifics I give to you, the better. Just an offer got conveyed. I'm very happy. It shows a light at the end of the tunnel, and hopefully they can continue working on this. CJ with $2 says, will you be on a certain list like Melton? No. I don't know if that was ever, I don't know, but that was never part of the thing. So, I know a lot of people are disappointed. They're like, what about prison? What about prison? That was never on the table either. Like I say, people make up their own realities and then they get mad at me when I don't confirm their realities, when I never told them anything in the first place. They just came up with it in their head. Buffalo Jonkey with $2 says, good to hear white men beating the struggle. Well, us whites, we've been held down. Aaron's Dingley thing with $2 says, Aaron told him if the boot don't fit, you must acquit. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. You're very, very kind. Look at that, 25 dropping in to start the show. 175, it's our last evening show for the week. And just 2 shows away from our 5th perfect week. MSO, there is none. There is none. At least that I know of. Adric, I don't think you've been listening, Adric. But again, no hate in my heart for you. I'm very happy to be moving on from this, and sorry you feel that way. Hopefully you can get over it. Daniel, becoming a member for 31 months, says, hello, everyone. Well, isn't that nice? Isn't that a nice gesture? To say hello, not to just one person, not to just a couple people, but he's saying hello to everyone. Ryan the Garbage Man, that's awesome news. I'm so thankful that you're able to put this behind. Yeah, I mean, we're right there. We're right there, and now we just, everybody be a good boy and girl, and we'll get this all done. My Lost Interest says, great news, celebrate with some peanuts. He's saying peanuts with a T. Thank you, My Lost Interest. Gray Duckling with $2 says, make sure you add my 2 $5 drops to my total. Oh, my goodness. That I need to add 12 to that total. So we've got 83 for Gray Duckling. I'm loving this board this week. I'm really loving this board. Look at this. Barely, I mean, only 2 in triple digits. That means, and we're having a perfect week. So everything being spread out. This is lovely. This is wonderful. 100 from Average Plumber, 100 from Miss Tay, 83 now for Gray Duckling, and 52 for Mussolini. Bunch of people at 50, bunch of people at 20. Thank you so much for your support. CJ with $2 says, missed my super 2-back. Stub toe. Morning show. The list? No. I read that one. I did that one. Buddy. I did that one. 170 away from tonight. Thank you, guys, very, very much. Andrea Plus with $2 says, take my now $7 off the total. Thank you. Andrea, by the way, did you email me? I haven't checked yet. Did you email me your address so I can send you the stickers that I have for you here? I'm ready to send all of those out, but I think I've only got 2 or 3 people sending me their info. MSO says, so now with the big win, will you be serving white cake? A lot of people are saying that, win. They keep using this word win. I'm not using the word win. I think if you find that yourself in this process, you're a loser. I really do. But there's lessons to learn in all of this. So I've learned so much from all of this. Number 1, don't be in this position. Don't. And I think it starts with, don't, be careful who you hang out with. Stay away from toxicity. Just stand up for yourself and do what you believe is right. Don't follow the crowd. Aces with $2 says, all right, you washed all the sand out of your vagina. Let's move on with it, and congratulations. Buffalo Jockey with $2 says, there's no hate in your heart. Your heart is already filled with high blood pressure. I just had a physical, and my blood pressure was spot on. It was perfect. Perfect. Yeah, Bronson, I mean, look, if whatever I've done to you, I hope you can get over it, buddy. Like I said, today is a day for complete positivity. If that makes you sick, then maybe it's just not the room for you. That's all, pal. Sorry. Thank you guys very much for your generosity. All right, let's do a show. Enough with the pity pat sand in the vagina horse shit. Enough with all this gay stuff. And thank you for all your texts as well. This is very kind. CJ with $2 says, missed my graped joke, which is no longer as funny. Oh, where am I upset I won't be graped in jail? I don't know. Yeah, so the less I know, the better. Leave it up to lawyers to hammer out the details and everything else. Good for them. God bless everybody doing their job, which I think is wonderful. Maybe at the end of this, I'll know what the hell happened in the last week that, made the winds turn as much as they did. Maybe my lawyer found that those magic words, like a wizard spell, that you can cast. All right, that one. I'll admit that one was fucking petty. Enough. Let's move on. Thank you, Buffalo Jockey, Aces, and CJ. Very kind of you. Now, if you guys really want to go ape shit, hammer out about 160 right now just on PayPal. Go fucking bananas. That's fun too. I love whoring myself out at times like this. Chase Ferry says these pearl clutchers they're not really pearl clutchers. They're people who I've upset. They're people who I've triggered. They're people who wanted a certain thing and they're not getting it. It's a tantrum and it's okay. I understand it. I don't hold any ill will to them. I'm not upset with them. They're just their names on a computer screen. They're feeling emotions. Let them feel their feelings. That's all part of it too. We all get to feel our feelings through this whole thing. And they're just feeling their feelings. And by God, if they've shown anything here in the past, it's that they have a lot of feelings. And Aaron certainly makes them feel a lot. My Lost Interest says, if your lawyer is smart, he'll take credit and charge you more. Look, when it's all over, when it's all done, I'd like to get the guy a box of cigars. I don't even know if that's legal because, I know when I bought this house, I wanted to get my realtor something. And he was like, I can't accept a gift from you. And I can only accept compensation through the sale of the house. I'm like, fuck me, really? So I don't want to do anything that's going to get anybody in trouble, for God's sake. I've had enough getting people, people getting in trouble and all. No more trouble. Let's all have a good time, for cock's sake. Kloppo says, no, it's an ethics violation. Well, that's too bad. That's too bad. Okay. Well, then I can't. You know what I'll do? I'll buy a box of cigars for him, and I'll just keep it for myself. Does that count? It's because it's when they say in gift giving, they say it's the thought that counts, right? So I'll buy a box of cigars intended for him as a thank you for all of his hard work, and I'll just keep them. I'll just keep them and smoke them myself. Had one today, man. It's getting nice out. It's getting to be that season where I got to watch that shit. Can't be smoking too many of those cigars. They're bad for you. Loaded Wrench with $2 says, my favorite book is The Art of the Plea Deal. Can't remember who wrote that one. No, Billy Bob Norris, I don't believe the lesson to be learned from this is from now on only six sums. I don't think. I have a feeling some of you, as happy as you are for me, I feel like some of you are not learning anything from this experience. You're purely enjoying it for entertainment value. CJ with $2 says, what are you going to do to get arrested next time? Can we just finish up this time? And probably speeding. There. If I could answer your question while also chastising you, probably a speeding violation. Thank you, Billy Bob Norris. I appreciate it. Yeah, Taste Fairy Ialto, I don't get that part either, but it's born out of extreme hatred of me. And again, I understand it. I've never faulted people for that. They are allowed that feeling. It just always makes me feel weird when they're parasocial and they make it feel like they want me to join in. and like validate their hatred. I just kind of watch you. I observe you, and you're kind of silly and feel your, look, here. Steel Toe says, feel your feelings. There were a lot of feelings. We just got to move on because I'll sit here and we'll rhapsodize about this all evening. Thank you guys very much for the kind words. Thank you for all of the support. I appreciate it. And as we start to bring this thing in for a landing and start to bring it into a close, just know that it means a lot to me, all the people who have stood by me during this time. And when everything's official and done, we'll talk more about it. Okie dokie. Good. All hell broke loose at a House of Representatives meeting after Congresswoman Sarah McBride was called Mr. Now, this is very interesting. You got to remember, everyone got used to the last 4 years of Joe Biden, where misgendering people was a beheadable offense. When you misgendered somebody, they just killed you. And now Trump's in there, and it's the complete opposite, where now I think they cut toes and fingers off if you call a trans woman a woman. You know, if you don't call the trans woman he, then you, I guess you start losing digits in the first offense. Well, this Sarah McBride is, I believe, the first trans Congress person. And I guess the chairman of this committee decided to refer to Congressperson McBride by their birth gender. Now, while the people who watch this show may love that and they think it's all great, oh boy, did it cause a problem in the old House of Representatives. Before we do that, thank you to Amy for $10. Says, towards your victory party at Stoney's. That's another thing I don't want people to do. Just because people on the internet get disappointed about what may end up happening doesn't mean that in any way I see it as a victory. I see it as a loss that I put myself in this position to begin with. It is not like, are we making the best of it? Sure. That doesn't mean that I got involved in this to get here and then go, fuck you, I win. Blah, 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 blah. People are going to paint it that way, but again, those people have feelings. I want to let them feel their feelings. They're going to need a hug box. I don't know why. I think the fact that I'm even here is probably, I don't think it's a good thing for me, but if other people are going to be upset about it, I can't stop them. So thank you very much, Amy. I appreciate that. Oh, my God. Numero uno Josh Denny fan with $1. Says, lesson learned. Henceforth, all sexual liaisons will be with only men. Got it. $1 from Numero Uno says, are we doing phones? Isn't this a radio show? We're not doing phones, especially tonight. All I wanted to do was talk about, I got an official offer. It's ridiculously encouraging. I appreciate everyone involved on all sides of this thing, and I think they've done their job, and I think they're consummate professionals, and I look forward to putting an end to all this. Andrea Plus says, you said fuck my ass with a meatloaf this morning. It's been weirding me out all day, and I did email you. Okay, well, thank you for the $5. Did I say fuck my ass with a meatloaf this morning? I don't remember saying that, but how weird is it? Okay, I don't remember saying it, and that's weird. But it's also weird that I think about it, and I go, that does sound like something I would say. Fuck my ass with a meatloaf. Buffalo Jockey with $2 says, of course Whitey thinks beating the system is a loss. So now it's my race. Now you're attacking me because of my race. I feel aggressed against, to be honest. That's not very DEI of you. Buffalo Jockey. Thank you, guys. By the way, 155 away from tonight. Oh, never mind. $1 from Paul. He says Cleveland is signing Russell Wilson as quarterback. That makes sense. They need a cheap option because they're still paying Deshaun. They need to save their money. All right, let's do this Sarah McBride thing. I'm glad you guys are fired up. I'm glad you're writing in a bunch. I appreciate all the super chats and the Rumble rants and everything. Let's put on a show for everyone else. You want to keep the $2 from CJ. All right. I swear to God, we're going to move on. I just appreciate everyone. I'm glad they're sending this stuff in. I'm in a great mood today. CJ with $2 says, I feel like you celebrated by goose stepping to Erica. if you must know, I wouldn't call it celebrating, but I definitely had a great day today, and I sat out on my back deck. Sat out on my back deck, had a cigar. I made a fucking bomb-ass old-fashioned. I mean, I made a really good one. It's the fresh orange that really makes the difference. I mean, the cherry's great and everything, but it's that fresh orange slice. That's what does it. And also, agave nectar over bitters. Pro tip, thank me later. Agave nectar over bitters. A woman at a clubhouse at a golf course made it for my buddy and I one time. Haven't stopped doing it that way since. I went cheap last time, though, and I got agave syrup. That's a bit of a Walmart trick that I did. So anyway, I had a cigar, I had a drink, and I listened to... I did listen to the Post Malone country album. I did. I listened to a lot of Post Malone. I listened to some Blake Shelton, too. I bounced around a little bit. Buffalo Jockey with $2. Oh, we got that one. Okay. $5 from Gray Duckling says, did you hear what happened in Congress today? I'm trying to get to it. I want to thank everybody for their supportive super chats and everything else, and their PayPals and their Streamlabs and their Venmos. But I do want to get to the funny little congressional thing that happened today. So if you don't mind, I appreciate the $5, and that's ridiculously kind of you. Thank you. We also have... there's one other thing I want. Oh, Clopogram. Oh, no. Before I said that I listened to Post Malone and had a cigar and a drink, Clopo says, listening to Post Malone and Eric Church, you fact. He wrote that before I said it, and then he just writes, called it. You did. You should take a victory lap on that one. Take a victory lap. Atomic Ray says, just because a friend uses agave doesn't stop being gay using it. My lost interest with $1 says moving on. Yes. Yes. As a matter of fact, we are. Interest. We're moving on. You guys want to do this Sarah McBride thing? All right. So I'm going to do a short setup because otherwise I'm going to get sidetracked again. And we're going to, we've got a show to do. I know everybody's here for the reveal. Well, the half reveal. I gave you very few details on purpose, but I want to do an actual show for the people who tune in regularly, not for the passersby that are here for drama and gossip. So, Sarah McBride, trans person in Congress, there was a meeting. Now, the meeting has nothing to do with this. Forget that there's a meeting. Forget that they're having a hearing. Forget that these three people are here. It doesn't matter. The little subcommittee that's meeting here, the chairman is naming off everyone, and listen to how they announce Sarah McBride, who identifies as a woman.
Recognize the representative from Delaware, Mr. McBride.
SpaghettiOs. Mr. Ken.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Kennedy! So, you hear that? She kind of threw him shit back. He's like, Mr. McBride. He goes, thank you, Madam Chair. Now, here's the problem. I think this illustrates a very funny part of this. What do they call us? Cisgender? I just call it normal people. Us normal people don't give a shit if you call us the wrong gender. If I get called a woman every day, and I'm not even talking about by you people. SP and I have a little thing we like to do. It's really, quite frankly, none of your fucking business. But, we have our own pastimes, and being misgendered never bothered me. But if you misgender someone who claims, like if you feel you were born a woman and now you're a woman, part of being a woman or being a man is not giving a shit if someone calls you the other thing.
Right.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Ranking Member Keating, also wonderful.
Mr. Chairman,
I'm sorry.
could you repeat your introduction?
Whoa. Did that guy just interrupt a woman when she's speaking? Sexism much?
Wonderful.
Mr.
I'm
Chairman,
sorry.
could you repeat your introduction again, please?
Yes, we have set the standard on the floor of the House, and I'm simply...
What is that standard, Mr. Chairman?
That we don't interrupt when other people are talking, Representative Dickface.
Would you repeat what you just said when you introduced a duly elected representative from the United States of America? Please.
I will.
This is where you lean into the mic and you go, Congressperson, cocked or decocked? Just on your time. I don't know, man. This whole thing, this is a fucking clown show, man. The fact that I've said this before about the whole gender debate. There is no winner and loser. The fact that we're even here is an L for everybody involved. The fact that in Congress this is happening, this is a loss for our country. No matter what side you're on, we're all losing because this is happening. We look fucking ridiculous right now.
The representative from Delaware, Mr. McBride.
Mr. Chairman, you are out of order.
Isn't it fucked up to see like an elderly white man like take up for trans people? I'm still never ready for that, you know? It's like the phone calls I've been getting the last couple days. I mean, it's as, you know, welcome as they are, I'm not ready for them. And when it comes to this McBride shit, like whenever I watch a 75-year-old man be like, it is anchor man, not anchor lady. Or he's like, you need to properly gender this person. How fucking dare you? I still get a kick out of it.
Chairman, have you no decency? I've come to know you a little bit, but this is not decent.
We will...
Sir, we're in Congress. None of us have decency. I don't care if you've got a dick, a vagina, or a little nub thing that's in between. All of us are soulless whores.
Continue this
You
hearing.
will not continue it with me unless you introduce a duly elected representative the right way.
This hearing is adjourned.
Oh, come on. That's like a comedy bit. That's gold, Jerry. Did they really just go, we will not continue this meeting if you don't introduce them the right way? And he's like, fuck it. Guess we're having lunch early. That's fantastic. You know what I need? I need a gavel. I officially need a gavel. I know someone who has a gavel and they don't stream anymore. Maybe I can have it.
I now recognize the...
So did we never figured out how, you know what's funny about this is we never really find out how Congressperson McBride really felt about any of this because the old white man just started speaking for her and was just like, I demand that you apologize for this. And then Congressperson McBride was like, I was fully ready to ask my fucking question. I don't see what the big deal is here, but all right. Fuck me. Yeah, my lost interest says it perfect. That's what I was trying to say. He's white knighting for McBride, maybe hoping to get some of that. I mean, you know, go for the ass just to be safe. You know, let's not, you don't want any surprises. So, you know, shotgun anal, if you could. Miss Tay with $14.99 Australian with that funny, weird fucking money she's got. Thank you very much, Miss Tay. That puts Miss Tay in first place, but because I count her Australian goofy money as real people money. That puts her at 110 and now officially in first place. Amy with $2. Amy with $2 says, oh man, I can never eat meatloaf again. I don't remember this meatloaf line that I said. I don't recall it. Red Fox Mad with $4.99 says, Aaron, did you see that SCSU is starting to sell some of the land they own? Well, I mean, that makes sense. What do you call it? The attendance, the enrollment is way down at SCSU. I mean, that school is rotting. You might as well get some money for some land you don't need. I mean, they've been taking down whole dorm buildings. They've been taken down. What was it? Mitchell House? They took it down because they just don't have people in it. They built those new apartments, those Coburn's apartments. They can't fill the fucking things because they don't have enough students. So yeah, that makes sense. Red Fox Mad with $4.99 says it's about 16.28 acres and is zoned R2 single family and 2-family residential and POS parks and open spaces. The appraised value is $290,000. Buffalo Jockey with $1 says for a bunch of war criminals, they're overly sensitive. Okay, can we all agree that's line of the night so far? for a bunch of war criminals. That's true. I mean, these are people who vote to give hundreds of billions, if not $1 trillion, handed over to people who their whole job is to make things that bomb and kill people. And they're like, hey, it is ma'am. I wish they got this offended and riled up every time they sold weapons to warlords that ended up slaughtering children. Boy, that would be great if we got that offended. But that's what I mean about all this trans shit, is like everybody wants to know who owned who in that debate. The fact that that thing even happened is an L for all of us. A pox on all our houses. And if any of our house is falling apart, epoxy on both of our houses. Because you want to put that stuff back together. Oh, man. Thank you guys for being here tonight on what is a very exciting evening. Finish the Wall says, I liked the show earlier. I can't talk anymore. I can't say anymore. I've said everything I can say. I'm sorry. It's, I'm happy with how I put it. I'm happy with what I put out there. And, dude, the way it's been moving, so, like, I didn't expect to hear anything more for a week, and I heard about it today. So, the way it's been moving, I'm sure I'll be able to update you further in a little bit. All right? I promise. I promise. Sam Show writes, wait, what happened? Fucking stop. MSO says, no, I feel like throwing out my leftover meatloaf. Kloppo Graham said, Kloppo, I can't read this. The old guy took McBride into the chamber, put that rubber dog mask on, and they're bloody. Jesus Christ. Vadam, what the hell are you doing? Vadam with $5. I bet they were all war criminal. Jesus Christ, man. It's fallen off the rails. Maybe I do have to go back to talking about that cheery topic we started off the show with. Jesus Christ. It's all going to hell in a handbasket. Vadam no, Kloppo writes, Vadam is back. No, Vadam is not back. If Vadam has shown anything, it's that this is what happens to Vadam when his blood sugar is low. That's all this is. By the way, does anyone notice I have a wispy gay hair that wouldn't go up? What's that indicative of? God damn it, Vadam. Well, buddy, you brought us down to 130 for tonight. And I do appreciate that part. Thank you guys very much. You've been very generous so far tonight. 130 away from tonight's goal. You guys are right on track. It's the last goal of the week for the evening show crowd. And after tonight, we only have the morning show goal tomorrow. And then it's our 5th perfect week in a row. And honest to God, I've had a perfect week so far, personally. A perfect week professionally. I don't know if anything could bring. The only thing that sucks is my baby's not feeling too well. And that sucks. My baby's under the weather. And that's too bad. I don't like that. You know, but that's how the universe works. The universe provides. You know, if it gives you this, it takes away this. You know? Thing about your lady being sick is, you know, when you guilt them into having sex with them, you got to check on them to make sure they're breathing okay. And I hate that because I feel so mean. I was only kidding, honey. All right, let's go to our next thing. Oh, this is a simple little one. This is, well, one of them, Sam Show. One of them. The one I was concerned about. The other one, who gives a shit? This was a tweet that Kurt Metzger retweeted. I found this from his account. I'm having a real hard time with how many like right-leaning people are okay with us wanting to throw the book at people or deport people who are here on a legal visa because they criticize Israel in a college protest. I'm really worried about this shit because I agree with Jimmy Dore. Free speech is free speech is free speech. Either you support it or you fucking don't. Don't give me this shit where you've been one of these people who for the last 10 years has been bitching about free speech on college campuses because they don't give the conservatives the blah, 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 blah. You don't fight for free speech of conservatives. You fight for free speech of everybody, or you don't fight for free speech at all. You fuck off and get off of my side. And when it comes to these protests, you're allowed to say, I don't like Israel and I'm rooting for Palestine or I'm rooting for Hamas. You're allowed to say that. I don't like it. I disagree with it. You are allowed to say it. Again, this is like the trans thing in Congress. It's a shame that we're even having this discussion, but we have to have it. The amount of people I'm seeing who are sticking up for this shit just because it's the Trump administration is really bugging me. Because that guy who's facing deportation right now, that guy has every right to express his opinion while he's going to school here in the United States about what he thinks about what's going on overseas. I support free speech no matter where you are. If you're in a country that doesn't have free speech, I support your free speech. So when it comes to this guy like Aaron, he's not a citizen, or Aaron, he doesn't have this or that. I don't give a shit. Everybody gets free speech in my book. I don't care what your position is. If a guy wants to walk up and down campus with an Israeli flag going, I hope Israel wipes out Hamas, I'm fine with that. That's okay. Let them do it. You know, if a college wants to punish someone because they're disrupting a class or something like that, that is within the school, the private, area of the classroom or whatever. The teacher has the ultimate authority. But gathering outside in public and having a protest, either it's all okay or none of it's okay. Amy Music with $5 says, I think it's appropriate to say, your boy did good. No, too soon. I don't look. There's parts of this. I know people who are fans of mine are going to be happy that certain people feel a certain way about this. I think it's very important for me to let you know. I am happy that they feel that way. That doesn't mean I share their feeling. That doesn't mean I share their opinion. I want you guys to be able to express yourself. Even the people who hate my guts and are really mad about this. Because they have feelings too, and they need to get those feelings out. They're very sensitive. They feel things. You guys are very sensitive. You feel things. I just want to put the disclaimer out there. Just because you guys are feeling it, I mean, like I said, I hope none of you ever find yourself in this position. Even if it ends in a way that you're like, you know what? Good. Let's move on with our lives. It's not good that you got there in the first place. CJ with $2 says for the second time, he violated green card rules. I know, and I get that, and I understand. What I'm saying, my personal ethos, my personal beliefs is that I don't want to start going down that road. I want that rule changed. I don't want them kicking people out for exercising free speech. So what? So you're here legally, but you don't get to say what you want. But as soon as you jump through a particular hoop, shazam, now you're a different person, and now you have that right. I don't like that. Everybody gets free speech. I want us to practice what we preach. I would be fine with the Trump administration enforcing that green card rule if they also didn't have the position that these colleges are limiting free speech and these colleges are stopping conservatives from speaking their minds. If that's your position, then live it. Walk the walk. Give it to everybody. Buffalo Jockey with $1 says, I think ISIS is a great group. I'll wait to be arrested. You're allowed to think ISIS is a great group. I mean, after all, we created them. I mean, you cheering for ISIS is really just you putting your own tax dollars to work, really. Let's go to Gray Duckling with $5. Says, I hear you. You should be able to say whatever you want. I'm all about deporting based on color, though. I don't think you understand what I mean by my position on free speech. I'm starting to worry about that. 120 away from tonight. Thank you guys very much. Very cool how you've been throwing it on us tonight. That sounded kind of gay. Thank you. 120 is the number. Go ahead and finish it off for the night and for the week. That sounded a little gay too. I'm really, you know what? I think it's how happy I am. I think it's how excited I am. I'm having a bit of a gay day and a bit of a gay night. So anyway, I saw this meme. I loved this meme because it brings two things together, right? Number one is this horrible deporting people for criticizing Israel thing. Hate it, don't like it. The other thing is Pam Bondi running her stupid mouth about this Epstein stuff. Oh, we're going to release it. Oh, we've got all the papers. Well, we might redact some of it. Well, got to be careful about national security. Just blah, 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 blah. She's like me. Doesn't know when to shut up. The only difference is I shouldn't be attorney general. She is. So this I thought was great. All credit to Russell Dobular, who made it, but I got it because Kurt Metzger retweeted it. Can we get the Epstein list? And then, of course, it's the Pawn Stars bit. Best I can do is deport you if you criticize Israel. That's about right. Which kind of goes the other way, because one of the worst kept secrets out there is that Jeffrey Epstein was a Mossad agent who was, basically put in place so that he could gather dirt on American billionaires and American world leaders and politicians and blackmail them on behalf of Israel. You don't think all these presidents we've had the last 50, 60 years have just surprise, no matter how many differences they have on positions, have all thought, boy, Israel's swell, we should give them bombs, tanks, and guns and let them run roughshod? You really think all of them had that position? No. They got caught in very compromising positions with people who were not legally allowed to be compromised. That's how they got that way. CJ with $2 says the Muzzy has UK intelligence security clearance. Again, my position is simply, I want people to have the free speech that I have. MSO says, you're out of your mind. Free speech for American citizens only. What do you want to do next? Give them Social Security? No, free speech is free. It doesn't cost us anything. We can just give it. Here, free speech. Boom, say whatever you want. Don't you find policing speech to be exhausting? Especially when I have to yell at them in German. I mean, that's really the worst part of it. Yankee says, walk the walk needs enforcement. We stand on the sidelines and preach constitutional values all day long, with the left relentlessly chips away at them. Well, what's the best way? The best way to fight back against their chipping away at our civil liberties is proliferate our civil liberties. Let everybody have them. Give them so much goddamn free speech, they're all retarded off of it. That's what I want. Proliferate free speech. My Lost Interest says, you do realize that the Epstein list was not released and redacted because Trump's name was on the list. I believe Trump's name has already come up on the flight logs that they've released. As well as Alec Baldwin. I think his name is on the flight logs. I think that's already been put out there. Donald Trump's name has already been on it in papers that they've shown. So, yeah, I mean, I don't give a shit if Trump's name is on there. Fucking release it. If Trump's name is on there, I want to know. I want to know if there's more to it than he says. I'm not loyal to a guy. I'm loyal to an idea, to a country. Anakin, my loyalty is with the Republic, to democracy. It's the best way the word democracy will ever be said is by Obi-Wan Kenobi in Revenge of the Sith. Obi-Wan democracy. That's what we want to hear.
I have brought peace, freedom, justice, and security to my new empire.
Ready for Disney to block this episode? I'll have to edit this out later. I can't play the video.
Your new empire? Don't make me kill you.
Whoa.
Anakin, my allegiance is to the Republic, to democracy.
Democracy. God, that is a wonderful way to say that word. Although this really isn't fair because, and this is not going to win me any points in the Aaron's Totally Not a Homo book, but I really enjoy Ewan McGregor's work. Is that a heterosexual way to say that? I really enjoy Ewan's work. He's aces, you know? End of Silence says free speech protesters have been criminally supported through taxpayer fraud by way of U.S. aid by proxy of NGOs. Oh, I hate those negos. Every single one of those negos needs to go. That's what I say. Bapa Shab says that idea is a lie. We haven't had a nation in over 100 years. Since 63, if you have boomer brain. What? Maybe I have boomer brain. I do think that when JFK was killed, that was the final coup that allowed our intelligence agencies to take over the government. If that makes me a bad guy or a boomer, then I guess I'm a boomer. 120 away from tonight. Thank you guys very much. Look at you, 120 away. Knock it out. We got reason to celebrate tonight. We're very happy we can cautiously celebrate. Cautiously celebrate. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And people are writing in, everything's settled. No, I need to make that very clear. It's just we received an offer. It's like the email I got said, we're on the verge of getting offered what we want. The only problem is, since we've had to go through this process of the trial process, we want our chance to put everything we've gathered out there, and then while we're working on crossing the T's and dotting the I's. I think that's only fair. How about the fact that Obi-Wan fucked up that Vader thing not once, not twice, but 3 times? You got episode 3, could have killed him, just left him there to burn. Then you got the Obi-Wan miniseries where he had him beaten again and he walks away. And then you have A New Hope where he just sits there and lets Vader hack at him with the lightsaber. He's fucking Jedi, man. They're arrogant as the day is long, I tell you. Do we have a clip from Gino? Somebody sent me a Gino clip. Uh-oh. What did Gino do? God damn it, Gino.
Both of your bras with no shirts, it says. Yay!
Are we ready for this?
I look at him and it comes up.
Oh, God. Gino and Bill Schultz. Something gay and retarded happened. If Gino and Bill Schultz were on a show together, something really gay and fucked up happened. All right, I'm ready.
You ready for this? Ready for this? Here we go. Right? Y'all ready for Bisque?
No. Jesus Christ. How is he not charged with something?
And a dunk, dunk, dink, don't in a bisque, 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 don't ding, dun, 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 bum, 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 bisque.
You have those 3 on a broadcast, and these 2. This is brilliant programming. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the genius mind that brought you In Hot Water on Compound Media. Of the 3 people you have in that room, you have the 2 men, a combined 115 years old, the men taking off their shirts and wearing a bra. You have the young, vivacious, and beautiful Keanu Thompson, fully clothed. Fully clothed. You have the disgusting Gino Bisconti and Bill Schultz, and you have them take off their shirts and wear bras. All right, it's time we all say it. Aaron Berg was the brains behind that program. Fuck Gino. I don't need... No. Oh, okay. You guys want to finish the clip, don't you? You guys are gay. I caught you being gay. You guys are gay now. Actually, the guy who sent $20 for them to do this is the gay one.
And you should do it, putting on the bra. Bisque, 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 bisque.
Holy shit, Bill Schultz looks like Granny. Bill Schultz and Granny have the same skin tone.
I'm about her, son.
I love it.
Do we get a prize if I put it on first?
It's unbelievable what's happening here.
Wait,
this
I
is
might have
great.
put it on.
I love it.
Hold
This
on.
is very, very interesting.
Watch this.
Wait, don't show my nipples!
Hold on, wait a minute. You know what? I just realized something. They're Keanu's bras, so they're not going to be big enough for Gino and Bill. It's not nice. That's not nice. I have no idea.
Don't show my nipples!
Watch this. Put it on me. Hey,
No!
Bill,
You blur that out!
It's funny when Gino, April, Keanu, and I used to hang out. Keanu and April would have the 3rd and 4th biggest sets of tits. So, yeah, just chipping among friends. That's all.
You blur that out! I have a contract that I signed when I came in here that said I would show a little bit of ass and no nipples.
Bill Schultz, of course, a subscriber of the school of if it's loud, it's funny. It's good to know. Good to know. I just, oh, man. No, I think Bigot on Socialist Media, I think Gino's in the hundreds over on Rumble. I believe. Yes, I agree with End of Silence. Star Wars era Natalie Portman was the best version of Natalie Portman. She's also very cute in Garden State. Speaking of Hamas, speaking of Israel, I did have this clip for you tonight. You got a lot of you will be happy to see this fella. Good old Ron Paul. Good old Ron Paul. A little throwback here. Little education on Hamas and Israel. It's so funny that Ron Paul would just drop shit like this all the time when he was in Congress. Fucking nobody listened. Nobody listened. C-SPAN was the only channel that would broadcast it, and nobody but narcoleptics were watching C-SPAN.
Hamas, if you look at the history, you'll find out that Hamas was encouraged and really started by Israel because they wanted Hamas to counteract Yasser Arafat. And you say, well, yeah, that was better then and served its purpose.
By the way, you can say whatever you want. You can have whatever opinion you want on Israel and Palestine and all that. But whatever Ron Paul says here, you can look it up. You can find out of it. You can fact check old Ronnie if you want to.
But we didn't want Hamas to do this. So then we as Americans say, well, we have such a good system. We're going to impose this on the world. We're going to invade Iraq and teach people how to be Democrats. We want free elections. So we encourage the Palestinians to have a free election. They do, and they elect Hamas.
I mean, he's not wrong. I mean, we set that up. We're like, hey, Palestine, aren't you tired of Yasser Arafat and who is it? Was Ehud Barak Israel or was he? Whatever. I was a kid. I wasn't supposed to know that shit. I knew Benjamin Netanyahu, Ariel Sharon, my Sharona, Ehud Barak, and I think that's all I know. Don't say Golda Meir. That was before my time. But, yeah, we went to the Palestinians. We're like, wouldn't it be great if you guys had an election and could pick your own leaders? I don't know if that was during the Bush administration. That was back when America thought, hey, all we need to do with these Muslims is just give them a vote and they'll pick democracy. And then we found out in all of these countries that if you give Middle Eastern Muslims a vote, they'll pretty much vote for terrorism. They hate our fucking guts. They hate Israel's fucking guts. They hate that we've been fucking around in their countries for so long. And they'd really like to elect the people who want to cut our heads off. That's what we're finding out. Hey, I have an idea. Why doesn't our CIA and Mossad, why don't they create this group Hamas? Because then there will be inner conflict between the Palestinians. Hey, it turns out that group we created, they really love killing us. We should give that area elections. Oh, shit. The people that we gave elections to, we thought they would be so happy with us that we gave them elections that they would vote for the people we like. And they're like, nah, we kind of like the cut of the jib of the people who want to kill you guys. So we're going to pick them. We're like, fuck. And then, you know, even though this was the 900th time this had happened to the United States in the Middle East, we acted surprised on that one too. Great job, guys.
So we first indirectly and directly through Israel help establish Hamas. Then we have election. Then Hamas becomes dominant. So we have to kill them. You know, it just doesn't make.
Yeah. Once again, Ron Paul making a whole lot of sense. Ron Paul laying it out very linear, very A to B, and nobody gave a fuck. That was basically what you just watched happen. You just watched Ron Paul completely lay it out, educate everyone, and then everybody not fucking. They're like, are we calling them freedom fries still? And Ron's like, yeah, fuck it. Klopogram says, is that Ron Paul's daddy? No, that's Rand Paul's daddy. Rand Paul's daddy. But I have to forgive you for not remembering the names. Hell, just this morning, I figured out that Bruce Dern was Laura Dern's dad. So, good on me. Papa Shab says, Bibi's final mission is goading us into a war with Iran, and it's going swimmingly. Yeah. Or bomb Columbia, I guess, like the college, not the country. I think we might be getting to that part, I believe. Hey, boys and girls, thank you very much for all your support tonight. Oh, my goodness. Over 300 of you checking out oh, Jesus Christ, we're at 400 tonight. Thank you. Let's make it a complete evening with all kinds of great news by knocking out that last 120 and calling it the final win of the week for the toe. The standings look like this. I've got Gray Duckling. I've got average. Jesus Christ, Aaron. Miss Tay at $110. I've got Average Plumber at 100. I've got Gray Duckling at 88. And I've got Mussolini Diff at 52. That's what it looks like. Adam Simon gifting a membership. Wow. Thank you. Appreciate that. 115 away from accomplishing our final mission of the week here on the evening shows. Thank you, guys. By the way, speaking of which, those memberships have been doing very well lately. Thank you for gifting them. If you want to keep gifting them, shit, if everyone wants to gift one, sounds good to me. Those have been going up, up, and up. I appreciate it. A lot of green arrows for the old toe lately. Somebody did ask about the boxing thing recently. I've said this numerous times. I had my exit interview. They said, hey, here's the plan. What are you going to do with your coaches and athletes license when you get it? And I'm like, I went into this thing thinking like I'm fighting for my boxing life. They're like, no, we just wanted to, make sure you're not a problem or anything like that. We just wanted to talk to you, get a lay of the land. And then their final question in the exit interview was, what are you going to do when you get it back? I'm like, oh shit. And that was a weird question. I gave a very good answer, but I was caught off guard because I was like, what, rob a bank? What the fuck? What the fuck do you think I'm going to do with it? But I don't think they would have appreciated my attempt at humor in that moment. So yeah, that's going great too. Just, I think they said in 2 weeks, we should have that all straightened out. So that was a week ago. I'm really excited. 2 to 4 weeks was their official timetable. Let's go ahead and do this story out of Atlanta. In Atlanta, they have, I love this guy, Booty Bennett, blocking paid members on YouTube isn't cool. Well, don't be a cunt. Watch this. Now I blocked you on Rumble. I'm sorry, but when they line up like fish in the barrel and I like to fuck with people, what am I supposed to do? He was begging me to do that and it made me giggle. So why wouldn't I? If I'm having fun and you're taking yourself too seriously, he tasked me. Atlanta police confirm arrest of man accused of slashing homeless tents. Now, I think the media's original intent with this story was to show this guy as some hateful, bum-hating, anti-homeless jerk. But I think what we found out throughout this story is that the homeless guy who was slashing people's tents, I'm not convinced that this guy isn't just one of the homeless people being a dick. Let's take a look. Oh, come on.
Taped cutting up tents at a homeless encampment.
It's people, ain't no tent, bro. It's people, ain't no tent while you doing that.
Tell me that's, I think that guy, well, maybe not. That guy looks pretty fucking jacked and those clothes look pretty shiny. Maybe, you know what? Either way, he's not a guy I'm fucking with. I'm not going to be the one to go in there and be like, hey, man, why don't you take it easy? I mean, I don't like that these homeless encampments are here either, but maybe there's a better way to take care of it. He just raised that box cutter up and I just be like, or this is cool, or this is fine too. Not a big deal.
I showed you that video on Channel 2 Action News yesterday, the man slashing up that tent. Well, today a viewer sent us video of Fulton County deputies arresting Daniel Barnett. His attorney confirmed the arrest to Channel 2 Action News and said they expect him to get bond.
Well, they don't actually throw people in jail in big cities anymore. So, I mean, that makes sense that he's going to get bond. Yeah, Eaton Clam says that guy was just cut by the Vikings. Yeah, he's a little upset. I'll give him this. He's done more to stop the homeless problem in Atlanta than the police and the government have probably done in the last 6 months. At least he's trying to do something. I mean, it's a little rash, and I think it kind of takes the heat off of the actual problem for a while and then puts the heat onto you. But, you can't be mad at the attempt. This is what we call the brainstorming process. I haven't heard anything or seen anything about the homeless encampments in Minneapolis lately. I mean, obviously it was winter, so that probably helped quite a bit. But we're about to head into homeless encampment season. I got to say, we don't have our mayor here in St. Cloud anymore. We got a new one, and I don't know if he's more of a bleeding heart or what. But the mayor we've had for like the last 20 years or so, Mayor Kleiss, he's been awesome. He retired this last election cycle. And I tell you what, man, when those homeless encampments showed up here last year or 2 years ago, dude, he cracked a whip on, I think it was 2 years ago, and he cracked a whip on that thing, and he cut that shit out right away. I thought he did a great job. So now I'm worried that with a new mayor, those encampments might come back, and we might be little bitches about it. I'm not sure. But one thing's for sure, like, there aren't many voters who are going to hate you if you roust those homeless encampments. Like, there's no downside politically to rounding those homeless encampments up and getting them the fuck out of your community. I mean, first of all, those homeless people will just drift on to the next town. I mean, South Park taught you that. And also, the voters are going to be like, oh, like, even the ones who, like, loudly are like, we need to support the homeless. Secretly, they're going to walk down those streets and they're like, oh, thank God this is so much nicer than it was before, and I don't have to dodge human feces. I mean, that's wonderful, on my feet or at my face. It was like walking through the San Diego Zoo before. Now it's nice and quiet. I like it. So there's really no downside to having some enforcement on that, but people still seem afraid to do it. You know, they still seem afraid. Papa Shab says Aaron stole all of the Somalis off the street and put them to work. Hey, that's not very nice. Here in St. Cloud, the Somalis are not begging on the street. Somalis are ripping off daycare money. Totally different. No, that's not true. In St. Cloud, it's the food stamp fraud. That's what, in Minnesota, in St. Cloud, it's St. Paul is where they're ripping off the daycares and the Feeding Our Future programs. Totally different. Red Fox Mad with $9.99 says, come on, everyone, hit the thumbs up button, gift some subs, and send us some money. Let's go. Let's hit the goal. Let's not end tonight like the Vikings ended the 1998 season. That was not... Why did you need to do that? Why did you need to remind everyone of that horrific time in Minnesota history? I mean, I like the general idea of what you're encouraging people to do. Sure, throw money at us. That's great. But why did we need to invoke 1998, especially at a time where the Vikings are rounding up awesome free agents? We got Javon Hargrave, got Jonathan Allen, we got Will Fries, we got Kelly, we got, Isaiah Fuckhead from Philadelphia. And now LA released Cooper Kupp. And I will say this, I'm going to be a little upset if we don't end up with Cooper Kupp. There's a rumor going around. Ready for this one? We're going to sign Cooper Kupp, and we're going to trade Jordan Addison and some draft pick in the future and bring Sauce Gardner over, because Sauce Gardner is still on his rookie deal for a couple more years. So we can give him an extension, push that extension off to when we're going to have more cap space, and we can put Sauce Gardner next to Byron Murphy and still be under the cap. I love that idea. Do I think it's going to happen? Fuck no. But I love the idea of having Sauce Gardner here, Cooper Kupp here. We got to have somebody here at least for the first 4 or 5 games, because Jordan Addison is going to be suspended. The motherfucker fell asleep on an on-ramp last offseason, and he got himself a DUI. They're adjudicating that this spring, and there's going to be a suspension with it for violating the league rules. So we got to be prepared. Miss Tay gifting another membership. Thank you, Miss Tay. Miss Tay increasing her lead over the pack by gifting a membership. Thank you very much. That drops us down a little bit more. Isaiah Gardner, thank you for Dinkelman in the chat. Isaiah Gardner. Or Taste Fairy, I'm sorry. Gardner, Kupp, let's go. I want Cooper Kupp, man. I want him real bad. And I know people are going to say, well, Cooper Kupp isn't the Cooper Kupp he was, 5 years ago or so. I know, and he doesn't have to be. We have Justin Jefferson. Either we're going to have Kupp and Addison, and Kupp will be our third receiver. He'll be our second receiver for the first 4 games or so, and that'll be perfect. That's the best thing about getting Cooper Kupp this year. He doesn't have to be a number 1 wide receiver. He's just got to take the heat off of JJ. That's all. Just got to take the heat off of JJ. And I haven't heard anything yet. The last thing I heard from Adam Schefter was that us and the Patriots would be the two teams that are most interested in Cooper Kupp. And if any of you say a goddamn word about us signing Aaron Rodgers, I'm going to lose my fucking mind. Minnesota has not expressed any interest in Aaron Rodgers. That is a complete creation of the national media. We don't want him. He's cancer. He's poison. No. No, 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 no. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything on Cooper Kupp and the Minnesota Vikings. Unfortunately, I'm seeing some Cooper Kupp New England Patriots stuff, and I don't like it. Let's get him. Let's get Cooper. He'll be a little cheaper, too, because I think the Rams are paying him for a lot of this year. Buffalo Jockey gifting a membership. Look at that. Isaiah Rodgers, not Isaiah Gardner. Thank you, Dinkelman. Isaiah Rodgers. So I fucked that up twice. What do you know? Thank you, Buffalo Jockey, for gifting that. I love that Klopogram got a Rumble subscription. Thank you. Thank you. So now we're an even hundo away from our final goal of the evening shows, and it's not even 7:30. Thank you guys very much. 100 is a perfect number because just one of you can go fucking apeshit, or 5 of you can go a little crazy. We can hammer out 100 pretty easily. That's a nice even number to knock out, boys and girls. You see what I did there? Do you see the shamelessness of this program? $100 away. And again, it would make the week perfect for the 5th week in a row. So Lauren Boebert is in this very interesting predicament. Laura Boebert, the shaft grasper of the theater, Ms. Boebert, because I believe she's Lauren if you're nasty. Is she with Kid Rock officially, or do we just think they're banging on the sly? Either way, she's divorced. So Ms. Boebert apparently said some stuff about Al Green that could lead to her being censured on the House floor. She called him a pimp. And somebody pressed her on the pimp thing, and she didn't back down, even though she's facing censure. Now, I don't know if people are being too sensitive about this or Lauren Boebert's being too stubborn. Let's check out the clips. Let's see what we think. She's looking fucking cute today, so I'm probably going to be on her side. It's good to see that the road dog got shaved and got a job as a news commentator. Oh, you didn't know?
We continue to bring apparently the bad girl of the house onto this program, and we aid and abet your bad girl activity, Congresswoman Boebert.
Especially behavior at the theater. Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice. Am I right?
Let me remind you of this clip that was spoken right here after President Trump's address to the joint session of Congress, and Al Green shaking his,
Al Green. I still can't do the high notes anymore.
Let you say it. Here we go.
I don't think it's unusual for a line or two to be shouted out. Heck,
She's looking way fucking cuter in this one. I like her. Some people say Marjorie Taylor Greene is hot. No, thank you. Lauren Boebert or that Paulina chick, or you're going to hate me for this, AOC, hottest people in the house. Bada boom, realest guy in the room.
shouting out loud lines last night, but they were certainly in support of President Trump. And for him to go and shake his pimp cane at President Trump was absolutely abhorrent, and it's showing even with Democrat voters.
So that's the thing that they want to censure her on the House floor for, is she said he was shaking his pimp cane at Donald Trump, and they said, well, that's clearly a racial thing. You said pimp cane, and that pimp cane means black guy. And it's just like, old white politicians never fail to make me laugh at their fucking inability to perceive themselves and what they're saying when it comes to race. You know, they keep going like, well, she said pimp cane and it's a black guy and you know only black guys are pimps, so she's being racist. It's like, bro, what are you doing? You sound fucking racist. Not like, especially if you were born, what, after 1980? Pimp just means pimp. Like, it doesn't mean like, you're pimp, black pimps. Anybody can be a pimp. Alex Stein is a pimp on a blimp, and he's a fucking Jew. Wait, when you say fucking Jew, it's, you know what? I can hear how that sounds. I meant it as a compliment, but I can understand where, you know, it hit the ear, and I went, wow, that sounded aggressive. Alex Stein, by the way, in court, where he fucking belongs. Sorry. Alex Stein is not a fucking Jew. Alex Stein is a little bit Jew. He's a little bit country and a little bit rock and roll. That's all. Thank you very much to Anonymous Fake Donor for $10. Says, did you thank SP for accepting the court's indecent proposal so that you could get a reduced sentence? It's not true. Although I did hear from a very scared, angry, jealous man that SP now runs this show, which was surprising for me to hear and for her. So she'd better pick it the fuck up. Women who try to exercise their authority over this program in this home tend to really do well. Thank you, Walter, for the $10. Appreciate it. Oh, we've got people in the Rumble chat endorsing the way I addressed Alex Stein. That's Alex is a good guy. Alex is a decent fella. Dinkelman says, a little Enzo Amore reference. Jesus, talk about a pull. Oh, bada boom, realest guy in the room. How you doing? And this is Big Cass, and he's 7 feet tall, and you can't teach that. My name is Enzo Amore, and I am a certified G and a bona fide stud, and you can't teach that. Dude, he was so fucking over. I know he was like a creep and kind of an asshole and people hated him. He was so over. I would have loved to see those two guys get like a long run with the tag team titles. God damn, Enzo and Cass were over. Clopogram with $1 says, Aaron, check out this crazy arse train. You guys are brazen. I just want to let you know that. You guys are brazen with your language. Dinkelman says, you know what he did, right? Oh, no. Didn't he grape? Did Enzo grape or did he do a Me Too? Why was Enzo fired from WWE? Accused of sexual assault and for violating the company's sexual harassment policy. Uh-oh. So what ended up happening? Amore's lawyer said that Amore was unaware of the investigation until it became public. He denied the allegations on Twitter. Well, then he's innocent. A friend of Sheehan later admitted that the allegations against him were false. The investigation stopped in May 2018 due to insufficient evidence. So she fucking lied. So this guy loses his job because she wow, that sucks. And I loved Enzo and Cass. Like, I check in on pro wrestling once a year between Royal Rumble and WrestleMania. And I always find a guy that I'm like, oh, when I watch again next year, I'm going to check on that dude. I hope he's doing well. Enzo and Cass were one of those guys where I was like, all right, I don't know much about wrestling anymore, but I like those guys. And like now I would say of the guys I didn't know existed before I started following again, I would say LA Knight is probably the one I like the most. I like LA Knight the most. I mean, he's kind of cool. And he's got a cool theme song. When it comes to TNA, Joe Hendry. That's my guy. Dinkelman says, Penta, baby, absolute stud. Fuck that, dude. I don't like that flippy dippy luchador shit. It sounds really fucking racist. I really got to watch how I say things sometimes. That came off almost like the N-word. Again, today I'm just hearing myself a little. And Papa Shab says, that's cap. You watch that shit all the time. I don't even watch Raw on Netflix. I just kind of catch little snippets on Twitter. basically. I saw that Roman Reigns came back on Monday, and he beat the shit out of CM Punk and Seth Rollins. Fuck them both, he said. Buffalo Jockey with $1 says, blacks are too lazy to be pimps. They hate work. Jesus Christ, what the fuck is wrong with you guys tonight? Holy shit. $80 away from tonight's goal. Thank you for the contributions on Venmo, PayPal, YouTube, Rumble. That's very nice. But guys, holy shit. And no, Aaron does not sleep in WWE pajamas. Oh, I like this. People are now throwing wrestling names at me now that I know these guys a little bit. Taste Fairy Ialto says, Gunther is the man. I don't get Gunther. I don't get him, dude. He reminds me of like those old wrestlers in the 60s, like the black and white days where they would just always hit each other with their forearm. They were those big beer belly, barrel-chested dudes. I don't get Gunther. Like he's just some boring German guy. He's a tough, strong German fella. You would think I'd love that. Nope. Braun Breaker, I like him. He's fucking insane, dude. That Braun Breaker, that guy hits the ropes harder than anybody I've ever. He's so fucking quick off the ropes. It's scary. By the way, Rick Steiner's kid, Dogface Gremlin's kid. The little bit I've seen of him, he's frightening, that Braun Breaker. So yeah, I like that guy too. CM Punk I've always liked. Randy Orton's one of my favorite wrestlers of all time. I miss Bray Wyatt. I was a Braun Strowman guy back in the day when they were pushing him. Taste Fairy Ialto says Gunther's an in-ring guy, so Aaron wouldn't care. You know what I like in a match, and this is why I have a hard time watching a lot of wrestling now? I like that when they slow it down, when they're selling injuries, when they make it look like shit hurts. I don't like it when they're kicking each other in the head and then popping up right away, and then another kick in the head, and then they pop up, and they get fucking like it's a fight. Make me believe it. You know, that's why I hate kicking out of finishes. I hate when they hit 7 finishes a match and they're kicking out of all of them. I miss the days where they had I sound like an old fucking guy right now. I miss the days where they had almost finishing moves. Like every wrestler had 3 moves they could beat you with, but one main finisher. And the whole thing was they would tease the finish throughout the match. They'd almost get it, and then, oh, you reversed it. Oh, that close. And then when they built up to it, when the guy finally hit the finish, the guy wasn't kicking out. I hate this kicking out of finishing moves shit. Sucks. I hate it. I'm old school like that. So I really have always hated that luchador shit. You know? I hate AEW. I think all of their shit is gay. They're all flippy dip. What did Kevin Nash say about CM Punk? They look like a short order line cook at a Peoria Denny's. They all look like guys that could just get beat up in a bar. I don't like it. Randy Orton, he's terrifying. Randy Orton is a big blockheaded son of a bitch who looks like he'd fucking kill you. I like that. One thing I like about Gunther is that Gunther looks like a psychotic German guy who has no soul and just beats the shit out of people. I like that. Braun Breaker reminds me of a fucking pit bull. But you know when I really started tuning out is when they brought that Shinsuke Nakamura guy in. And I'm like, this guy's fucking gay, dude. Like he's coming in with violin music and he's going like this and dancing. Shut the fuck up. Kick this guy in the head and throw him out into the crowd where he belongs. And then everybody loved him. Everyone's like, Shinsuke rules. Why? He's a weird Japanese dude. He's got nothing on Masahiro Chono. Fucking no. He's got nothing on the Great Muta. Fuck him. He's got nothing on Kobayashi. Oh, that's the hot dog guy. That's not a wrestler. Sounded like a wrestler. All of Kai and Tai would kick the shit out of Shinsuke. Heel New Day is pretty weak. Yeah, the New Day is supposed to be like trombone. When I was watching wrestling, they were like trombones, New Day rocks, and they had cereal and shit. That's the New Day I want. Last time I went to pro wrestling, they still had the Cesaro section. So there's that. Professor Tie-Dye says, Aaron, you're good enough, you're smart enough, and doggone it, retarded people like you. Thank you. Means a lot. $75 away from tonight's goal. Thank you guys for being so generous. Let's bring it in for a landing. We're almost there. And we've got a half hour to do it. Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo, Super Chats, Rumble rants, and more. You guys are the best. Thank you for sharing a very special evening with me. Many more special evenings to come. Can't wait till it's all finished and it's all over. $75 away. Let's all jump in and finish that off. Bigot on socialist media says Penta is way better than Shinsuke. He's a fucking flippy dippy weatherman. I don't like him. MSO says, how about George the Animal Steel? Taste Fairy says the Hardys defended the TNA tag titles on NXT last night. I saw them a week ago. They were facing like some group named like LCB or something. I don't remember. All I know is they won, and it was cool to see the Hardys win. Even though they look like they're half-speed Hardys from when I used to watch them, it's still cool to watch them win. You know, every time I see Matt Hardy, it's a year later, and he's gotten a little chubbier, a little thicker. Jeff's gotten a little older and a little slower. And let's be honest, Jeff Hardy off of drugs, not as quick as Jeff Hardy on drugs. Remember when the animal would eat the padding from the turnbuckle? Yeah, so George the Animal Steel was like a badass. Back in the territory days where you would go from town to town in different organizations, George the Animal Steel was this bad, crazy killer guy. And then Vince got a hold of him and he's like, I have an idea. George the Animal Steel is one of the most over bad guys in the country. Let's turn him into a cartoon character who eats turnbuckle stuffing. and fucking hell if it didn't work. And then Vince said, all right, George, I love how you eat the turnbuckle stuffing. Now let me take a shit on your chest. He's like, what? He went, wait, what? That's right. You're going to have a mouthful in a minute when I make you eat my shit. At WrestleMania, it's going to be CM Punk and Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns. First one to eat the other one's shit wins. Vince is really out there with his fucking gimmicks nowadays, man. Dinkelman says, I want John Moxley back in WWE. I don't know who that is. I only know Dean Ambrose. Thank you very much. AEW is what happens when you give a fucking wrestling mark $1 billion and a company to run. Jesus, is that Tony Khan kid fucking embarrassing. Holy Christ. All right. So we were talking about Lauren Boebert before we all started geeking out about wrestling. McBuster says, I miss the days when I first hit puberty. Totally forgot about wrestling and got into females. Are you saying my Goldberg t-shirts in middle school didn't help me find girls? Fucking liar. This guy's a nerd. $4.99 from Red Fox Mad said my wife sent me this. Apparently someone is posting old gym boxing videos. And oh, yeah, I know about that. That's, thank you. It's kind of weird, kind of psychotic, right? A little stalkery, but again, like, I'm not going to stop these anti-steel toe people or, Nick or anybody else from making themselves look fucking insane. Why? When the people who don't like you are making mistakes, let them. In fact, I have a feeling that a lot of that shit is what caused the change for me in the last week here. Because I said, where's all these developments coming from? I have no fucking idea. It seemed like we were full speed ahead. Then all of a sudden, somebody can't get my dick out of their brain. And now all of a sudden, I'm getting remarkably good news. It was that crooked dick of mine manipulating the system. Now sometimes I get out of the shower and I look and I just go, I'm not seeing it. I'm sorry. And then I grab my hat off the rack with it and I go, oh, that's what they're talking about. Like I said, if people look desperate and gay and insane for you and it looks like you've broken their brain, leave them be. Leave them be. Let's go to this Lauren Boebert thing. So we watched her talk about Al Green. Can't do it. How many times are you going to try, dickhead? So Lauren Boebert says that Al Green was shaking his pimp cane at President Trump. And they brought her on to this guy's show, and he's like, hey, you want to apologize for that pimp cane bullshit you were spewing before? Because they're going to censure you on the House of Representatives for saying the black guy had a pimp cane. Let's go ahead and see what she said.
to attack me for referencing his cane as a pimp cane. And Grant, I stand by it. I have never seen Al Green actually use his cane as a support to walk. I have seen.
Okay, but have you seen him use it to quote, and I'm quoting here, keep his hose in line? Because it takes more than not using the cane to walk to make it a pimp cane. I believe you have to, again, I have the rules here. Smack a hoe in the mouth with the pimp cane for it to fully be christened as a pimp cane. But I'm an amateur. What would I know?
Cane as a support to walk. I have seen him shake it for years.
We watched that theater video, too. We watched you shake it. Oh, you pretty dirty little congresswoman.
All throughout the Capitol during any meeting that I've ever been present with him.
That's right. I hear the Jeffersons theme music playing, and he starts doing a shuck and jive dance. It's really, I'm not a racist.
And if that gold-plated cane isn't a pimp cane, I don't know what is. But maybe Hula Hoo is really the racist here. Are only blacks pimps? Is that what I'm?
Yes. Oh, sorry. That was rhetorical. That I really got to learn to just let rhetorical dogs lie.
Hearing? Are there no cisgender white pimps in America?
Uh-oh, she said cisgender. She's fired from being a Republican. I'm taking her poster down. No more. No more J. Owen to those Lauren Boebert pictures. If you're MAGA, she said cisgender. Fucking bitch. Can't trust anyone nowadays, guys. Can't trust anyone. Bigot on socialist media says, I still think she's not fat enough for Kid Rock. Well, you know, skinny models, you can keep those. He likes big corn-fed Midwestern hoes. Favorite Kid Rock line? Come on, you're all white trash. We've all got one. What's the, oh God, what's, I have to do the line justice. Let me go to the third verse of the song Cocky. Here we go. My favorite Kid Rock line, holding shares, cool like Fonzie, rolling Lake St. Clair in my 40-foot Donzi. It's such a wonderful line. I love it. The end of the song gets a little aggressive. Mac and me, because you know I'm paid. That's why I'm slapping my gardeners and fucking my maids. That's both racist and a bit misogynist, if you ask me. My Lost Interest says, wonder where Kid Rock's pimp cane has been. Pamela Anderson's asshole, I would guess. I mean, My Lost Interest, it's not your toughest question you've ever asked. It wasn't a fucking troll riddle on a bridge. I mean, oh, Unforced Ego with $50 says, you know what this is for, King? Teflon Aaron. Wow, that is very, very nice of you.
And I just want to say thank you for making it happen. Thank you.
I appreciate that, pal. I really do. Thank you, Unforced Ego, with the 50. 40 away from tonight. Thank you. We take 35 of that. 40 away from this evening. Still got 20 minutes left. Finish it up. Finish that last 45 up. Oh, never mind. 1-2 skip to my Lou says hilarious stuff tonight so far, and I just tuned in at 7. Oh, yeah, I won't read that part. Thank you. It looks like it's coming along very well. Thank you very much. 1-2 skip to my Lou. All right, so now we're $20 away from calling it the final win for the toe of the week. Thank you, Unforced Ego. That $50, that purple or pink, whatever we're calling that color. Very, very nice. Thank you, guys. I've heard from a lot of people tonight. Very funny shit tonight. Very funny, very funny. I appreciate that. My ego really appreciates that. But I think now that we're heading towards the end of this nonsense and all of this craziness, I really do think the show is going to improve because just this dark cloud is kind of lifted. And like I said, man, I've been in a great mood in spite of it. I've been very happy and my life's been going great in spite of it. But with that whole specter gone, and in a way that seems like it's shaping up that I'm very comfortable with, all things considered, I think the show is going to be even better. Even better. Whew. Thank you guys for that big rush. Unforced ego and 1-2 skip to my Lou. $20 away. What do you guys think? Can we knock it down with 1s and 2s? That is one of my favorite things. I'm going to be honest. When you guys knock down a goal with $1 and $2 drops, it's like one of my favorite. Like Steel Toe has mini games. Like the goal is the mini game. And I like when the mini game gets knocked out in like Happy Gilmore when he wins that tournament, the Waterbury Open, and he does it by tapping the putt in like 3 or 4 times. Reminds me of that. So it would make me very happy if we knocked out that last $20 with $1 and $2 gives only. And I don't really think you guys want to do that thing where I go, hey, it'd be really cool if we knocked it out with $1 and $2 gives, and you guys start throwing in 10s and 20s just to be dicks. Let's see if we can do it. Because I believe in you. Kloppo said, Aaron, you never watched my clip. Oh, fuck me in the pimp cane. Let's go find it. Kloppo, Libs of TikTok. Let's take a look-see. All right. This is, holy shit. Oh, yeah. Can I show this on YouTube, though, Kloppo? Because I was going to grab this for tomorrow morning's show, and I hesitated because I don't know if I can show this on YouTube. People pleaser, thank you for the $19.99, but no. I threw that away. A long time ago. I threw that away probably back in the fall, I think. I threw that book away. It's just a time I'm ashamed of. I learned a lot of lessons from it. Don't get me wrong. You don't want to block it all out, but it's kind of ashamed of what a fucking pig, pervert, disgusting person I was. Didn't live up to being a dad and a man when you engage in shit like that. So I saw that book and I went, nope, we're going to toss that in the old garbage. Dad Vet with $5 says, now that your court situation is being resolved, are you going to rebuttal some of the things Nick is saying about? Do I need to? It seems like everyone kind of knows he's full of shit because, he's kind of contradicted himself over and over and over. I take my drugs with me all the time. When you were arrested and they found the drugs in your house, you were driving at the time. Okay, lie. The cops put the drugs in my daughter's hair. Aaron might have put the given my daughter the drug. Aaron was gone for 6 weeks. I thought you said it was a false positive. Wait, now the cops put it in there? Now he's a little scared of me and he's like, well, I didn't say Aaron put it in there. It could have been anybody. I'm not really sure. I didn't know. Imagine my surprise when I find out they tested positive. Wait a minute. We have court records that show that you knew she was going to test positive. The court records say, hey, by the way, if she tests positive, it had nothing to do with me. Says the guilty man. Says the guilty man. So no, I don't really feel the need because I'm pretty sure everybody knows the guy's full of shit and really bitter at me. Really jealous and bitter at me. And it's unfortunate because he has to get off of drugs and alcohol when he's sentenced, and he's going to have to be off of it for years. And you carry that resentment and that jealousy and that anger and that bitterness, you're going to drink, you're going to do drugs, you're going to fuck up, and you're going to go to prison. So get your fucking shit together, get over your heartbreak, get over me, get over all of that shit. It's all over. When this is finalized, I am unshackled from anything and like everybody else, I'm going to be so glad for it. And I'm going to be so much better off. Everybody who gets unshackled from you ends up being better off. Why do you think that is? You might just be a toxic addict. And maybe looking in that mirror is a little too painful. So if you look at me and go, that's the reason, that's the guy, that's why I'm sad and shitty all the time. Sorry, man. I'm out. I'm gone. It's somebody else. Turn towards that mirror. Point that powerful, strength of projection onto the person you're really mad at. That's what I would say. Thank you, Dad Vet, for giving me a chance to not do that while also doing that. I appreciate Clopogram says, do it, Aaron. Erase the corner demon script on the whiteboard. It will free you. No, because look, if I erase April's steel toe, which looks really nice, and I replace it with my handwriting, it's going to look like shit. Look, if so let's say hypothetically I erased April's steel toe. Like, let's say I just, Jesus Christ. Let's say I wipe all that off. Let's say I just erase the whole fucking thing, right? Let's just say, this is embarrassing. Oh my God. The bitch really writes with some pressure. Let's say I erase the whole thing, right? I just get rid of it. It's all gone. Okay? Hypothetically, let's say I do that. And then, let's say that I replace it with my writing. Look at how bad it is. Look at how bad that is. Doesn't that look terrible? Doesn't that look fucking awful? It's dreadful. See my point? See my point? Do you like that? Do you like that, Papa Shab? I mean, I think we're like $1 away from tonight. I'm pretty sure we've hit tonight's goal. I appreciate that, guys. But I think, Papa, no offense, I think that's worth at least a 10 spot. That was a funny bit. Does look like absolute horseshit, though, doesn't it? Das Optic Nerve says, well done. Hey, cheers, guys. Chernobog says, the end of an era. Aw, I'm sad. I think I'm going to quit streaming now because I'm just too sad. I got sadness coursing through my bones. And I'm too sad to stream. What kind of fag is too sad to stream? It's streaming. You're not reading a dead relative's will, you fucking ponce, you girl. I'm too sad to stream. What bitch is too sad to stream? So douchey, so cringe. It's as gay as little slender shoulders on a man. Gray Duckling with $20 says, I'm so proud of you. I mean, your handwriting is still shit. Thank you, Gray Duckling. Papa Shab says, you're welcome, Aaron. You may thank me one day. Oh, I thought it was fun. I had a great time. Mersh has been too sad to stream many times. Oof. I feel bad for Mersh. Wasn't it just a week ago? He's like, oh, yeah, I'm a pretty good legal scholar. Aaron's going to eat that felony. Oh, boy. I mean, that almost sounds like, you might as well have made a prediction that said nobody's ever going to repossess my car. All right. Let's continue on. Hey, what's going on with the Z-Man? Somebody, oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh, there's gonna be some sad feelings. Chad's instigating again. Not with me. I'm an observer in what I saw. I'm gonna have to go read that thread once it's done. Once we're done with the show. Oh, somebody wrote something about Chad a little bit ago. Doom, the lovely and beautiful Doom, who I just found out is a woman like a day ago, like a week ago. Now I just say the lovely and beautiful. I have no idea what this fucking broad looks like. So I'm just going to say the lovely and beautiful so they're not mean to me all the time in their clips like they usually are. Can we talk about how Chad Zumach only made $5 in super chats yesterday? Let's bag on Chad, please. Why? What did Chad do? So he made $5. I made over, I made about 210 tonight, 215, 220. Made about my weight in dollars. So Chad made 5. You win some, you lose some, you know? You win some, you lose some. Chad made $5 in super chats yesterday. Well, what was he doing? What was he talking about? Maybe he wasn't talking about anything that people wanted to hear about. Maybe he just wasn't. This is what I hate about Rumble chat is that it's behind. So, like, if I want to talk to Doom has to wait 30 seconds before. Doom says, MSO, I yelled that at the screen. Oh, he needed the money? Well, did he try begging or playing a funny song? Did he do a steel toe patented hype train? Maybe if he would have taken one of my hype trains, maybe it would have worked out for him. My hype trains work very, very well. Doom says, well, you described the average Chad show. Well, was he starting shit with somebody? I mean, what do those dabble retards love? They love Ray DeVito shit, right? I tell you what, just aces when it comes to taste, these fucking people. Don't they love, say something about Ray DeVito? You know? Hey, Ray DeVito's dumb. Oh my God, I made $500. Maybe I should try it. Hold on. Clopogram says, thanks for blanking my compliment, Aaron. Fuck you. What did you say? Now I'm making people mad. Are we in overtime yet? Because I feel like I'm giving overtime vibes right now. Oh, Clopo says, Aaron, you actually looked like you lost weight then. When I was up by the board here? I don't know if I've lost weight, yes. I'm not down to my fighting weight. But the planking is starting to move stuff around. You know, it's still here a little too much. I'll definitely admit that. But I'm getting a little more, you know, in the thigh glute area. I got myself an ass now. All the girls love it. Thank you, buddy. Doom says, after the AC disaster, the Chad redemption arc is over. I'll be honest, I haven't really been following Chad lately. Hulkamash says, you're at least 230 now. No, I'm a 223 this morning. And then I went to the gym, got some boxing in. And after the boxing, I did go to Jimmy John's, but fuck you, that's not a gas station. My Lent thing was no going to gas stations and getting food from gas stations. I had a sandwich at Jimmy John's, which don't ever go to Jimmy John's or Jersey Mike's or Subway and be like, I'm eating healthier. It's a sandwich. It's fucking terrible for you. But I still went to Jimmy John's after the gym today. And then a lot of lawyer talks, a lot of happy lawyer talks today. And then I was like, so we're almost done? He's like, yeah, still bring me all this shit we need. You know, we're still more and more. I'm like, really? He's like, just in case, we got to be ready. I'm like, okie doke. I like that. Buffalo Jockey with $1 says, Chad gained only $5 yesterday while Aaron gained 5 pounds. That's fucking mean, dude. It's fucking mean. All right, let me see if it works. Ready? Let me try this. I want to try a thing where I want to see if this makes money. I want to see how this Dabbleverse shit works. You know, usually I'm on the outside looking in, making fun of all these retards once in a while and then moving on with my show. I want to try doing a Dabbleverse thing and see if money comes in. I believe this is how it works. Ray DeVito sucks. I know that all our shows suck and they're all terrible, but Ray sucks different than the rest of us. Let me show you this 10-second clip that I'm going to play 97 times because I have no real content and tell you exactly how Ray sucks different than I suck. And then someone will point out that you suck too, and then you have to rage and yell and scream about that. And then you go, I drive Ray crazy. I make him nuts. And then someone goes, well, you're nuts. You go, I'm not. You're a fucking asshole, you piece of shit. We make Ray some. Am I doing it right? Because it's not like thousands of dollars in super chats aren't coming in. I don't understand how this. I always thought that the whole thing was Ray's an asshole and then money, right? Julius with $5 says, heard the good news. Sounds like a baldo has been lifted off your shoulder. That's a good way to put it. It's a good way to put it. Thank you, buddy. Oh, boy. Chad's been blowing it by going members only. Oh, is that what he does? Now Vince Griswold with $2 says Ray stinks. Don't, guys, don't you fucking make this work. No. I was doing this to prove a point that it's retarded and it shouldn't be rewarded monetarily. Now I did it, and you guys just gave me more money than Chad made yesterday, you fucking dicks. Stop it, and stop it right now. Chad buries every show behind members only immediately after airing it. Bad move. Yeah, like Kevin can get away with doing that because he's been doing it for years. And like I know that we peak out in the mid to high 800s. Rumble Fridays, we peak out at 1,100 or so. Kevin peaks out, between 800 and 1,000 on a good day, right? So he can do that. It's a little bit bigger deal. Chad's doing like 200, 300, right? He does like our evening show numbers on his main show. So like he can't be putting that members only. You got to get that exposed to more people. You know what? Don't fucking listen to me like I know what I'm doing. Christ almighty. If you start late, you'll miss the end. Oh. KB is the biggest lol cow in the shitverse. Fucking all of these people are lol cows, guys. All these people think they matter. It's so funny to watch. Like you watch all these people, they've got like, somebody sent me a Melton clip. He had 500 people watching and he's talking like he's got a show. And I'm like, guys, you understand none of us have a show. The difference between having 800 people watching and 0 people watching is that fucking much. I'm the only one of these retards who goes, hey, we're all hanging on by a thread here. We pretty much don't have a show. That bothers them for some reason. Admit what you are. I always say this. People are like, oh, yeah, well, I had 500. I had 600. I have 900. I have this. You ever heard of Joe Rogan? You ever heard of Adam Carolla? You ever heard of fucking Ethan Klein? You're all shit. You're nobodies. Nobody knows who you are. If you go to a family thing and you talk up to them about this show or you talk to them about other shows like it fucking matters, you're embarrassing, and I hope your family hits you for it. Keep it to your fucking self. Be ashamed of listening to this shit. Doom says, yeah, that's Chad's show exactly. Keep doing it. Doom says, seems like it's difficult to maintain long term if everything is behind a paywall. How do you watch more if you like it? Clippers? You're asking me. You're asking a guy who has blown up his own career and tried to kill it half a dozen times at least. You're sitting here. Doom, are you sitting here asking me, the guy who had the cushiest job in town, could not have had a cushier gig, and just blew it up because he went, we didn't get syndicated to an Iowa station. Fuck this lady. And just went nuts. You're going to ask me how to properly build a show? I'm a dumbass. Oh, Chad is a lot like Aaron, says McBuster. Oh, I don't like this. He has no clue that Melton has his minor attracted person sweepers buy memberships and get mod privileges. I mean, I just don't care about the guy. The only thing that gives me entertainment is that he needs me to survive. Like, he needs me to eat. He can't do a show. He has to watch me teach him how to do a show and then pretend that he hates it. Otherwise, he knows it all falls apart because nobody wants to watch him look for his butt wiping sticks. That's the only thing that entertains me about it. All You Can Eat Negro says, you was radio in the 90s, man. Bro, I was in middle school in the 90s. Andrea with $5 says, Ray is the worst. He's probably gay. Did I do it? Did I do a Dabbleverse? Yes, I think that's what we're going to call it on this show. We're going to call it doing a Dabbleverse. All you have to do is send in a super chat and say something bad about Ray DeVito or Melton or Chad or Kevin or somebody else, and then you're doing a Dabbleverse. Perfect. It can't be anything about BYB, because if it's about BYB and you're giving money, then it's automatically not a BYB show because money's coming in. It's antithetical to what we're trying to do here. Can I say something about Quadfather? He does take getting shit on pretty well. Like, he doesn't go insane. He doesn't go nuts. He tried to do the steel toe grift a little and it didn't work. And he pivoted, which is probably good, because it just kind of seemed phony because I've always been cool to the guy. But he is one of those guys where you can give him shit and he kind of takes it and moves on. He does, like, he takes criticism better than, like, say, a Patrick Melton, who if you say, hey, your dog, and he goes, don't you fucking dare. Buffalo Jockey with $1 says, you lost a cushy job for making fun of someone for being too cushy. You know what the funny thing is when I was on with Bubba was like, Aaron, like, you got fired for calling her fat. Like, she's pretty hot. And I'm like, yeah, I know. I fucked that one up too. Oh, here we go. My Lost Interest wants to do a dabble verse. He writes $1. He says, I like Ray DeVito. Oops. Yeah, that's not a dabble verse. You didn't do a dabble verse. You got to say something shitty about Ray DeVito, right? Is that how we do a dabble verse? Thank you, guys. You guys are way ahead for next Monday. I'm going to have to go back and count because I don't even know how much it is. I think it's like $30-$40 ahead for next Monday. I appreciate your guys' your efforts on what's been a wonderful program. I'm purposely not drinking during tonight's show. I don't want to jinx anything. And I haven't been drinking very much lately. And it's not intentional. I'm not trying to not drink a lot lately. It's just kind of been that way. And I kind of like the streak that I'm on. So I had one today with a cigar. That's more than enough. Having one on a Wednesday is, that's good. We don't have to fucking, you're sitting outside having a fucking mint julep on a Wednesday. You can stop there. But I also, we'll have one of those shows once it's all signed, sealed, delivered. I'm yours. How's that? Doom says, can we start doing drinking shows once a week? No, I don't perform well when I'm drinking. That's not going to get clipped. Doom, don't you fucking dare. You know what I meant. Did Doom Clone is this doing a dabble verse? The isotopes stink. Oh boy. I don't know. Like even when we're making fun of the Dabbleverse by doing a Dabbleverse, it still seems pathetic. I don't know. I don't know if that bit's gonna last. It just feels dirty. Yeah. See, Doom writes, thanks for that soundbite. You know what? You're the reason I'm a misogynist. No, wait. That doesn't. No. Could you don't delete that too? Just let that. Doom Clone is a bad example for femininity. Femininity. Doot 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 doot. Femininity. Doot 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 doot. Femininity. Doot 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 doot. All right, can we focus on something for fun? Can you tell I'm a little happy this evening? I'm a little happy this evening. I'm excited about where things are going. Shall we continue? We got more people burning down Teslas and shit. And by the way, burning down the Cybertrucks, I'm not against in theory. I'm not against burning down the Cybertrucks. The theory of it, the idea of it. I don't like it if you're doing it for political reasons. If you're burning up the Tesla Cybertruck because you own it, it's your property, and they look fucking terrible and you look like a doofus driving one because they look like the cars in GoldenEye, the video game, then it's fine. I am totally fine with you setting your own Tesla on fire and destroying it if it's a gay Cybertruck. If it's someone else's and you're doing it because you don't like the politics of Elon Musk, you're being kind of a cunt. Let's go to this next one.
4 Tesla Cybertrucks went up in flames at this storage lot in South Seattle. It comes as protest.
All for it as long as it's insurance fraud. Wow, those fuckers they don't stop burning. Those lithium ion batteries do not stop burning. You have to bury them in sand or come up with a chemical thing. I'm a scientist, by the way. Chemical thing is a technical term.
Protests against Elon Musk and his role in the federal government have erupted across the country.
It's up to regular folks to show up and take back our country.
Evan Sutton is one of the organizers of the Tesla takedown protests. He says they are a nonviolent movement.
We're not interested in damaging vehicles or harming people or property. We are interested in taking down the stock price of Tesla.
Are you interested in a tanning bed? Can I interest you? Look greasy. It's weird. I don't like you look. Anybody else getting a malnourished vibe from this guy?
So that we can send a clear message to Elon Musk and to Donald Trump that they need to stop destroying our government.
Sutton says their objectives are clear.
We want to...
Wait a minute. What if I elected Donald Trump specifically to destroy the government? Uh-oh. I think we have a disconnect in this country. Wait, so you people outside of Tesla who are setting cars on fire and protesting, you're doing it because you're against us dismantling the government? Ooh, I have really bad news. You know the majority of the country that voted for the guy that's in power? Yeah, we all voted because we kind of thought he would destroy the government. Uh-oh. This is how civil wars happen, isn't it? It seems like there's a wide gap between our two sides.
To make sure that people are discouraged from buying a new Tesla. We're encouraging individuals to dump their stock and to, if they have a Tesla, to sell it.
After the
Get this. So, savor the irony. These lefty, liberal, environmentalist wackos want people to get rid of their Teslas because they don't like Elon Musk's politics. The guy with the most energy efficient vehicles you can possibly have. I mean, we can talk about the batteries and all that, whatever, but you know what I mean. The guy with the least carbon emissions of any car, you say fuck that because he wants to cut government spending. Boy, you guys have just got it all figured out.
November 8th election, Tesla stock began to climb, reaching an all-time high on December 17th of $479.86 per share. Since then, the stock has dropped to just over $220 per share. Monday, stocks plummeted 15%, the company's steepest drop in 5 years.
We want to make sure that Tesla feels the pain because Tesla is the basis of Elon Musk's wealth.
There have been at least 10 acts of vandalism against Tesla in recent weeks. In January, police in Colorado say Molotov cocktails were hurled by a suspect at a Tesla dealership.
You know what? Molotov cocktail, that sounds pretty lefty. That's kind of their deal.
In Massachusetts, police say more than half a dozen Tesla charging stations have been intentionally set on fire.
Yes, Massachusetts, the cradle of American freedom. What have you done with these men from Massachusetts?
In Tigard, Oregon, police say several shots were fired at a Tesla dealership, damaging cars and shattering windows.
You don't see that very often. Oregon liberals with guns. It's a new development.
When you set a fire on a Cybertruck, you're putting the firefighters who have to respond in danger, and you're not doing Elon Musk any harm.
We have reached out to Tesla for comment, and we are still waiting to hear.
Unless Elon Musk is in the Tesla when you set it on fire, then you're doing him a lot of harm. Well, the whole thing is just fucking stupid. I mean, the whole thing is just like, I don't like the way Elon is doing this Doge thing. So fuck the environment. Fuck the environment. I don't give a shit about clean energy or anything like that. I just hate that he doesn't want us to give money to trans Pakistanis, I guess. Is that what we're that's the other thing I don't get is like, write down exactly what it is you don't like that he's cutting. Or is that, you know what, that might trigger the shit out of him because that's really too close to the whole write down what you did this week at work that they're so upset about. My lost interest with a good point. Yes, Teslas now release carbon emissions when they burn. That, you know what? That's true. That's true. They definitely are releasing carbon emissions when they're set on fire. Those batteries don't do well in terms of their output. I thought this was really funny. We got about 15 minutes left tonight. Thank you guys very much for having a good time with me this evening. I just got a show text from a guy who is he's not doing well with today's news. I'm responding to him real quick. Best of luck. Oh boy, you know what? I understand some people are not going to be happy, but here's the deal. You built this up in your head. I haven't talked about the thing the whole time. You built this all up in your head. Now you're not going to get your way, maybe. And you're going to get pissed at me. I didn't do anything to you. You did this to yourself. Take responsibility for how shitty your life is.
Ireland is known for very happy.
Oh, this isn't the Tesla story. I'm sorry. So this next clip, I got to set this one up. Donald Trump was there with the Prime Minister of Ireland. And they asked Donald Trump about his arch nemesis, Rosie O'Donnell, relocating to Ireland. And I got to say, Donnie's getting up there in age, but he's still got a good one-liner, especially when it comes to Rosie. Now, I think the moment this country kind of fell in love with Donald Trump for the 2016 elections is when I believe it was his first debate. Can we please, let's just play the Megyn Kelly clip. I love how I ask you guys, can we play this? Your show, retard. Let's do the Megyn Kelly, Donald Trump, Rosie O'Donnell bit. Rosie O'Donnell Trump debate. Here we go. The one where Megyn Kelly's like, you've called women fat pigs. You called them this.
One of the things people love about you is you speak your mind and you don't use a politician's filter. However, that is not without its downsides, in particular when it comes to women. You've called women you don't like fat pigs, dogs, slobs, and disgusting animals. Your Twitter account...
Only Rosie O'Donnell.
I remember watching that first Republican debate when Ashley and I were still together. I was down in the basement, and I believe she was putting one of the kids to bed. I think, was it 2015? Louis may have been a newborn. He was very young. And for the show, I wanted to watch this debate so I could know, what we could clip the next day and everything else. So I'm down there, and I just ended up going upstairs and getting Ashley and be like, you gotta watch this thing. So she's got Lewis like on her shoulder like this, and we're just sitting there watching the Trump Republican debate, and he's shitting on Ted Cruz's wife, and he's just fucking blasting Jeb Bush. It's got nothing to do with the issues, and we're like, Jesus Christ, I've never seen anything like this before. I went into that first Donald Trump thing the way we used to go into Mike Tyson fights in the 90s when he got out of jail. We're like, is he going to bite a guy? Is he going to kill him? Is he going to knock him out in a round? Is this going to be a Buster Douglas deal? What the fuck is going to happen? And he didn't disappoint. You've called women fat pigs. You've called them disgusting slobs. Only Rosie O'Donnell. That's it. Oh, by the way, speaking of Trump, and we'll get back to the Rosie thing in a second, but you know that guy that beat up Keanu, the Trump impersonator? I mean, obviously him, beating up Keanu is bad, but does anybody else also find his Trump impression offensively bad? I'm not saying that the Trump impression is so bad that it's worse than beating Keanu. That's not doom. That is not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is they're like, oh, this really good Trump impersonator. And I'm watching his Trump impression and I'm like, it's not very good. As a matter of fact, it's kind of lazy. It's sort of shitty. Like, I don't have a very good Trump. And I feel like my Trump is better than his Trump, and my Trump sucks ass. So his Trump definitely sucks ass. And also, so it was awkward because a couple weeks ago, Shane Gillis was on SNL. And when Shane Gillis was on SNL, they have another guy, a cast member, who does Trump. But Shane Gillis does, the best Trump impression there is. So it's kind of awkward to, not use Gillis as Trump because you've got a guy. McBuster says, did he really beat her up? I think so. I mean, there's pictures and everything else and all that stuff. I mean, it seems pretty cut and dry to me. So now with Donald Trump talking to the Irish Prime Minister, me lucky charms. They ask Don. They ask him about the Rosie O'Donnell moving to Ireland thing. And before the Irish Prime Minister can respond, because he's in a weird place, because Trump hates Rosie, but I'm sure he wants to welcome her to his country, Trump gets his digs in.
Ireland is known for very happy, fun-loving people, great attitude, many in this room right now that I've met. Why in the world would you let Rosie O'Donnell move to Ireland? I think she's going to...
See, look at this guy. This guy's like, shut the fuck up. When rich people want to move to our country, we're totally fine with it, you fucking dick.
Lower your happiness level.
It's true. Thank you. I like that question.
Mr.
Do you know
President,
you
are you expecting?
Do you know who she is?
Yeah.
I'm joking.
You're better off not knowing.
He's the leader of the free world. He can nuke any country he wants, but he's still, the fact that he still loves a good Rosie O'Donnell dig, it still makes him happy. It's good that he can still enjoy the little things. And the poor Prime Minister of Ireland, he's sitting there like, I don't want to get involved in this shit. Like they're asking him, do you know who Rosie O'Donnell is? He's like, yeah, I do. Can you ask us about something else, please? Anything? Is anyone else, by the way, worried that Trump, like this happens to boxers a lot. Like they say they get old overnight. Anyone worried about Trump getting old overnight? Like I know he's still sharp now, but he's like 78 years old. Are any of you worried that he's going to start slipping a little mentally? I mean, as he gets into his 80s while he's in office, like he's going to ragging up a little bit? I'd be lying if I said it didn't cross my mind once in a while that I'm a little worried. And that's why I don't like electing these guys who are, pushing 80 years old. It's like, Mother Nature always wins eventually. Bigot on socialist media says probably his third year of this term. Yeah, I mean, an 80-year-old man is I mean, how many sharp 80-year-olds are there? Who did we see? We played a clip today of a celebrity. And he was 80 or 85. And we're like, holy shit, that guy's got his shit together. He's pretty sharp. Michael Savage, that was it. We played a clip of Michael Savage talking to the governor of California, Gavin Newsom, on his podcast. And I was like, holy shit, Savage is 85 years old, and he's still sharp. He's still got it. So maybe Trump won't be. But it is something I think about from time to time. Yankee says, I hope not. We need him to lead generational change. Well, he's got 4 years. Cocktiff says, not at all. He's already appointed his successor. I wouldn't mind if J.D. Vance took over from here. That wouldn't bother me. Holy shit, we're almost done. There's about 350 of you checking out the show at the end of it. I appreciate that. We got into the 400s tonight, it looks like. That's very, very cool. Hit like, hit subscribe on your way out. I appreciate it. Bigot on socialist media says, I don't know if he'll deteriorate as bad as Biden, but maybe it will be noticeable. That's the other thing, is that like with Biden, he was already kind of half a vegetable when he took office, And with Trump, he's sharp right now. So if he declines, you're going to notice it. With Biden, you could hide it a little because it's like, hey, Biden's slipping. They're like, how the fuck can you tell? He was slipping when he was running for office. Remember in 2020, they wouldn't let him out of that basement because they're like, he'll fuck it up if we let him out of this basement. Just say it's for COVID reasons. And then, let the fucking guy sit in the basement and talk. That'll be fine. Let's do this Oregon story and then let's get out of here. Oh, wait, no, first, you know what we should check? We ought to do a check on whether or not the Vikings have made any new signings before we leave tonight. Breaking news. Doge has discovered there are 394 million Social Security recipients in the United States. There are only 334 million citizens in the United States. Is that legit? Is that real? Because I also heard a thing that whole 200-year-olds getting Social Security thing was bullshit. It was some kind of software readout issue. It's not like those checks aren't actually going out to people. 300 million Social Security. Is that a real deal? I don't see that in the news. This is just this Ryan Fournier guy tweeting it out there 2 hours ago. Let's see if we can go Doge Social Security. Social Security scraps far-reaching cuts to phone services after Post report. Inside the Doge threat to Social Security. Social Security denies report of Doge proposed to cuts phone service. Yeah, I don't see anything about like how many people are getting Social Security. If it's on Twitter, I always double check it, Oh, we got some news from Adam Schefter regarding our Minnesota Vikings. You better get this right, dude. I love Adam Schefter. He's my guy when it comes to breaking NFL news. But these national guys have been talking a bunch of shit about, like, Aaron Rodgers might go to the Vikings. Look, man, I have no doubt that Aaron Rodgers wants to be a Viking. I hope the Vikings don't want Aaron Rodgers to be a Viking. It's the J.J. McCarthy era. It's his turn. You know, people go, oh, he had a meniscus tear. He didn't have a full meniscus tear. He needed a meniscus repair. It's an incredibly safe surgery. Look up what J.J. McCarthy had. And he also had the meniscus surgery that's a full repair on the outer rim of the meniscus. Not the one where you got to punch a hole through the bottom and the inside. That one deteriorates the knee. The one he had, full repair. It's just a longer healing time. That's it.
It's Minnesota.
Anyone who tells you difference is a retard.
Is comfortable trotting out J.J. McCarthy next year as their starting quarterback?
Yeah, I'm not including Minnesota in the Aaron Rodgers conversation until
Thank you. That's why I love Adam Schefter. The man makes sense.
I have a reason to have some form of evidence that that's something that we need to take realistically. Now, there are no absolutes this time of the year. Anything could always happen, but I just don't view that as a primary option right now. Minnesota, to me, is setting sail with J.J. McCarthy. I think people forget he was the 10th overall pick in the draft.
I get so tired of hearing like, oh my God, are they going to go with J.J. McCarthy? He was picked a handful of slots, 7 or 8 picks after Jaden Daniels, who went to the NFC Championship game this year, by the way, with a team with not near as many weapons or the offensive line that J.J. McCarthy has. J.J. McCarthy has an embarrassment of riches on offense to work with, and he's every bit as capable as Jaden Daniels was. In some ways, more. He's a national championship quarterback. People are like, oh my God, are we going to start this guy who got to watch and study and learn and go to all the practices? I mean, he couldn't participate in all of them. But a guy who's already, putting the muscle back on, he's already throwing the ball, he looks great. He's got Kevin O'Connell as his teacher, Justin Jefferson is his number one option, TJ Hawkinson, maybe Cooper Kupp. Got Aaron Jones back in the fold, probably Scatterbo from Arizona State as our second-round pick, because I think we're going to trade down, maybe a third-round pick. I mean, what's not to like? Why do you need to go out and get an Aaron Rodgers, which is only going to put off the development of this guy another year, which I don't want to do?
he was competing last year to where he very well might have been the starting quarterback in opening day. He'll have spent the year in Minnesota getting acclimated. They're counting on him to be their starting quarterback. I was on air yesterday with Jeremy Fowler, and I saw somebody else. J.J. McCarthy's the likely. Like, who's more likely than J.J. McCarthy to start for the Vikings next year?
I mean, we've literally lost all of our other quarterbacks. Daniel Jones is gone. Nick Mullins is gone. Sam Darnold obviously gone. I mean, we're probably going to end up with like Jameis Winston, Mac Jones, kind of Joe Flacco kind of a thing as our backup quarterback. Honestly, I'd like Flacco. I want old man Flacco as our backup. I think it would fit perfectly. He's not trying to start, he's not trying to steal it and get a job. He'll be a good source of education. He'll be good to have in the quarterback room, as they say. Dinkelman. Ooh, we got some breaking news here before we leave on the Minnesota Vikings front. Let's take a look-see. Harrison Smith. Is this accurate? Harrison Smith has agreed on a restructured contract for a 14th NFL season. The Hitman is back at age 36, still playing at a high level, can now add to his Hall of Fame resume. First ballot Hall of Famer Harrison Smith is coming back, probably on a team-friendly deal. What were we looking to pay him for this season? What was his cap number? Harrison Phillips. Wait a minute. He was only making $6.5 million this year? How much more of a fucking team-friendly deal can you get? Is that like a void year? Like he needs a new contract, or what the shit is that? Well, either way, looks good to me. I still don't have a calculation of what our salary cap looks like with all these signings. Over the Cap hasn't updated it yet, but man, that is great news that Harrison Smith is coming back. By the way, I'm sorry if you are a Pittsburgh Steelers fan. Harrison Smith, greater safety all time than Troy Polamalu. Look it up. Look it up. My Lost Interest says Vikings need a veteran backup quarterback to help teach JJ the ropes. That's why I like Flacco. Leah says, I love Jameis Winston, not as a player, but he's a national treasure as a person. Yeah, he's great. He really is a good guy. But, I mean, I think he's come a long way since he was, shoving live crabs down his pants at a fucking grocery store when he was at Florida State. He's really come a long way since then. Bigot on Socialist Media says, if Vikings go after Rodgers, they're fucked. Yeah, I don't like it. I don't want it. Count me out. I don't want to be a part of the Aaron Rodgers sweepstakes. No, thank you. All right, guys, let's get the hell out of here. What a great night. Thank you so much for your generosity. Thank you for being wow, what a wonderful audience. Appreciate it. Talk to you later. We'll be back again tomorrow morning. We're looking to finalize perfect week number 5. We will talk to you soon. I won't have any new details for you tomorrow, but maybe Friday. Who knows? It seems the information seems to be coming in hot and heavy. Take it easy, everybody.